Yes. Hold tight. Let me get the volume just right. I think we straight. I'm still sharing the video, so just come on in. Put a one in the building if you're ready. We go cook Michael Keaton, man. We go cook him, man. I don't know if y'all want him well done, medium rare. I don't know, but I'm sharing the video now. So hold tight, y'all. This is gonna be a classic. Yeah.
Mr. Trumptastic. This is Trumptastic. Yeah, I'm on my maggot shit. Yeah, I'm fresh to death like I'm hopping out my casket, bitch. Yeah, I'm on my maggot shit. 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 Yeah, I'm fresh to death like I'm hopping out my casket, bitch. Trips around the Atlas, had me ballin' like a globe. Try to double dribble, slam dunk, I'm dripping through the paint, nigga. Yeah, I'm on my maggot shit. Yeah, I'm on my maggot shit. Yeah, I'm fresh to death like I'm hopping out my casket, bitch. Trips around the Atlas, had me ballin' like a globe. Try to double dribble, slam dunk, I'm dripping through the paint, nigga. Everything I touch turns to glitter, I'm a lucky charm. Fettuccine Alfredo, mixed it with the Parmesan. EBS coming in, it's ringing like a car alarm. Honey, I shrunk the kids about the size of a peppercorn. USA flag, and I stitched it with the Betsy Ross Baywatch Barbie. Then I hit her with the hassle. Frog man, Oculus, I had to take my glasses off. Sammy Sosa flow, yeah, I had to change color. I'm an acrobat, flip your ass like the ring umbrellas. Captain Planet, Superman, I'm flying through the stratosphere. I can pop your top like a soda or a can of beer. Starter man jacket had me ballin' like the Cavaliers. You can catch Corona, but I'd rather have a Heineken. I had to check my watch, yeah, it's that time again. Stampin' postcards, send them off with the mailman. 50 round clips, dropping shells like Michelangelo. Ninja Turtle flow, dripping blood in your pizza sauce. Yeah, I'm so cold, I'm Santa surfing in a Poconos. Just talk to Jesus and I think I caught the Holy Ghost. George Norris swag, hell yeah, I'm going coast to coast. 3 strikes you out like Adidas with the shell toes. Bullets sound like fireworks, chopper rip like Velcro. 7 for the half, but I got it for the elbow. Red wave, turning walk to water like the hurricane. I used to sell Grammys, now I'm stinging with the Novocaine. AMC stock, had me going ape shit. Guilty deep state while I'm going on a date, bitch. Mar-a-Lago red chains closed, now I'm MAGA man. Backdoor deal, shoot your ass like the Taliban. Scary movie too, Jason Voorhees, I'm the son of Sam. Yeah, I'm on my maggot shit. Yeah, I'm on my maggot shit. Yeah, I'm fresh to death like I'm hopping down my casket, bitch.
Yes. Let me do a sound check right quick, family. We go take flight, man. Michael Keaton or Michael Kiesel. Your name should be Michael Weasel. You try to weasel out of this one. He called me a damn liar when it came to Black Wall Street. We was talking about Black Wall Street, how mobs just came in that worked with the government. Yeah, mobs that came in and destroyed black cities, Black Wall Street. And he says those people that have been bombed do not deserve reparations. Hold on, let me see if we straight about it. Hold on. Check 1 2, check 1 2. We gonna get into it. And if you don't believe uh black communities that have been bombed should get reparations, come on here now. You might as well come on here and get cooked too. Because the thing is, I believe certain white communities should get reparations. And we gonna go into a video, and this video is going to make you cry. And by the time I get done with the video, you would not be following Michael Keaton anymore. You would be like, damn, this motherfucker's a piece of shit. So if you don't believe black folks should get retribution and reparations, for crimes against humanities, I'm pretty sure you don't believe anybody should, unless you're a damn white supremacist. Check one two. Piece of shit. Yeah, I think we straight. I think we straight. Yeah, after I get done with this episode, I'm not gonna want to follow that. He looked like a damn inbred. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him. I don't know if he related to Hills Have Eyes or what, but I put him through the AI and cleaned him up because his real photos look ugly as hell. I'm gonna be honest with you. This motherfucker ain't got no testosterone, and come to find out, look, he said he reported me. He reported this episode to Facebook, and he reported it to YouTube. That's what he said. Hold on, let me go on. He said he reported me. Hold on, let me. Oh, he erased all. Damn, he erased everything. He's running. That dude is running. Hold on. Let me see if he responded, because he erased all my fucking shit. Damn. Let me go on mine, because I tagged him in this video on Facebook too. He know what I'm talking about him. That's why I got his name on here. See, a lot of people talk all that fugazi stuff online, but when you bring them to the forefront, when you bring them to the altar, you know, so we can hear their testimony, they know where to be found. But allegedly, he's the talking head. He got his MAGA following, but his MAGA following ain't more powerful than mine. His MAGA following ain't more powerful. If it wasn't for me getting my pages chopped, yeah, guess what? we gonna go to the moon anyway. Trust me, we gonna go to the moon anyway. Let me screen share this. He running, man. This ain't, like I said, this is not manly behavior. This is beta male behavior. I thought us MAGA man had testosterone. This dude has no testosterone. He don't even want to debate. It ain't even under. This is not a debate. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a whole comedy skit. YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, everything's for learning purposes only. This episode is learning purposes only. He said, "Look, this is hilarious." He said, "Get my name off your stuff. You had no permission to advertise a fake debate." And he said, "Anyone who see this garbage, ignore it. This guy's a clown. Never said a word to me about a lot." Man, come on, man. I try to bring him to the altar. Let me. His ass up out of here. Where's that post at? This dude, he is gone. I'll tell you that right now. His ass is. I ain't never seen nobody skeet out like that. And make sure you join members only, the Red, White, and You Foundation. Yeah. Let me try to find out what he said, because he's a hypocrite, man. He's part of Hypocrite Nation. And we go into a video because I really want to teach y'all about reparations, because the government needs to repair certain people. We're gonna talk about the Radium Girls. I don't know if y'all ever heard of the Radium Girls. Yeah, I think he did. He got my post taken down. I'm over here looking for the post that I made about. Yeah, he got my shit taken down, that post. He must have reported because it says this content is not available. This is yesterday at 6:22 a.m. He reported it, y'all. So he's scared. That boy is scared. Don't put him on the front lines. I'm gonna be honest with you. Do not put him on the front lines. Because I don't know if this dude is a real Christian or a fake Christian. He might be a fake. He gotta be a fake Christian because the thing is, so many people have been bombed. Like, does he even believe? I want to ask him, does he even believe the people that got bombed in 9/11 should get reparations? Yeah, he got that post taken down. I'm over here scrolling. I'm just over here scrolling because I'm looking for something, a particular post, and he got up out of there. And another guy on his post, I'm gonna go on his page right quick. He said another dude that commented on his stuff said this happened in 1927, y'all. Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is a part of American history. If you don't know about this, you don't know about real American history. If you don't know about this, I don't think you're a real American, honestly. And I ain't even trying to be funny. This is a story that I don't even think you can hide this story. Black Wall Street. 600 businesses, 21 churches, 21 restaurants, 30 grocery stores, 2 movie theaters, 6 private planes, a hospital, a bank, a post office, school, libraries, law office, and even bus systems. Yeah, this affluent, hard-working community was bombed from the air and burned to the ground. Mobs of envious whites, not blacks. Okay, this is when black folks was prospering after the Great Depression, and these white mobs, they were jealous because they were poor whites. And the thing is, they did they women bad too. They did they women dirty, and I think that's why white women secretly like black women, because a lot of racist white women practice cannibalism. Yeah, go look at that documentary, Cannibalism in Jamestown. Them motherfucking colonizers, they got so fucking hungry and poor, they start eating their own women. For real. And like I said, we about to go into the Radium Girls documentary because, like I said, they said that it happened a long time ago. It happened a long time ago. We shouldn't forget. We should just forget it. Forget about it. Hell no. It's not a long time ago. 100 years is your damn grandma, your great grandma. That's not a long time ago. See, you your mind is fixed to think, oh, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years is a long time ago. No, dude. Who are you to say? Who are you? Are you the timekeeper out this bitch? Hmm? I bet people were texting him like, "Oh, you don't want to mess with that guy." Yeah, you don't want to mess with that guy. He's very surgical with the knowledge. So this is just a cover story for what happened in Black Wall Street. But the thing is, I was gonna hit y'all over the head with another story and see if y'all gonna be hypocrite nation. Now we go get back into the Wall Street story. And before I play this documentary, go get a tissue. Go get a tissue. If Michael Keaton think shit, it happened a long time ago, go get a tissue right now. I'm dead serious. Go get a fucking tissue right now because I'm about to play this documentary and you go shed a tear. And after I play this documentary, you probably gonna be like, damn, some people in society deserve reparations. And the thing is, you had people on my post talking about, the government gave blacks welfare and what is it? Black colleges. Man, I said those black colleges are ran by Jewish institutions. That's a black college. All black colleges ran by Jewish institutions. It's not owned by black people. You didn't give us nothing. You didn't give us nothing. Not even education, because we're about to go into about 2 or 3 videos, and I kind of want to segue. I kind of want to segue into this video. Trump about to hit. Think he about to get on at 9. I think he about to get on at 9. But yeah, let's get into this video about the radium girls. The radium girls, and this is the same thing these white mobs did, but the only thing different, the skin was white. So you got, the thing is, you got us all thinking you a racist, Michael Keaton. For real. Because if I put it on this video, you go agree that these women should get reparations. And when did this happen? This happened in, hold on. When did this happen? I think this happened in 1925. Around the same year, this happened. So let me see if the thing is, let me see if these white women that worked in this factory deserve reparations, y'all. Now I'm gonna read the cover story. So let's get up. And like I said, if you don't think blacks should get reparations, what if we just switch the skin color? Because this some of y'all great granny and shit. Once you kill a person, you kill the whole bloodline. You kill their whole family crest. I don't think Michael Keaton understands that. That shit needs to be repaired. Talking about Mike. Y'all thought you go on his page, he got a little fan page, but his fans ain't shit. Let's look what reparations mean. Reparations are measures to acknowledge, repair, and compensate for historical injustices, including slavery, colonialism, and systematic discrimination. And this was after slavery. We didn't even talk. I didn't even bring up slavery. And I made the post. I said, stay on topic. I said, please stay on topic. And he got my post. He got my motherfucking post taken down because Facebook racist. YouTube, I don't know about YouTube, but Facebook racist as hell. We already know who Pedal Man, what's his name, who runs Facebook. I don't even know his fucking name anymore. And I'm glad I don't remember his name. What's his name? Mark Beavers. I'm glad I'm forgetting these damn names. Yeah, he got my post taken down. Somebody commented. Hold on. David Byers. Who the fuck is David Byers? David Byers. He's friends with Michael Kiesel. But he got his middle finger up. He stuck his middle finger. Bro, the thing is, I'm not about to I ain't about to chimp out tonight. I want to see me chimp out. I'm not about to chimp out, buddy. We about to come with straight facts. I don't know why you throwing up he throwing up the middle finger, dog. For what? He's throwing up the middle finger for what? Just come on the damn live, dude. Anyways, you see him, David Byers. So let's get into the Radium Girls. Okay, this is a true story. I gotta flip the script from black to white because he think since it happened 100 years ago, these people shouldn't be restored. You don't think this white woman right here should be restored? At the onset of World War I, several factories were established across the United States to produce watches and military dials painted with the material containing radium, a radioactive element that glows in the dark. Hundreds of young women, white women, white woman. White woman, because back in the day, shit, we had Black Wall Street. We weren't working around no damn. Our people weren't working around no whites. It was all black. So guess what? The racist colonizer, he had his own woman working the damn plant, working her like a fucking slave. Hundreds of young women were hired for the well-paid painting jobs because their small hands were well suited for exacting detail work. Radio, see, they was, yeah. But Michael Keaton don't think these people deserve shit because it happened 100 years ago. You goddamn barbarian. Michael Keaton is a fucking barbarian, and his partner, what's his partner's name? David Byers. He's a barbarian too. They come from this damn barbarian culture. They probably Romans, probably from the Roman Catholic Church, but they disguise themselves as Christians and shit. They ain't really Christians. They fake Christians. You ain't got the word of God, and then you talking about, yo, we can't repair these people. Shit, you got me fucked up. I said certain white people need reparations too. But Michael Keaton, he don't deserve shit. The thing is, after a certain time period, a lot of black folks got redlined throughout neighborhoods, and they got put during next to power plants and shit like that. And guess what? There was a city in St. Louis. I think over 100 people, black people, died in an apartment building because it was right next to a plant. Who's doing that right now? Elon Musk. Elon Musk is killing black folks in Memphis. Yes, go look at his smart data plant, killing black folks. Yes. See, I think I'm playing, man. I'm not playing. We did an episode on Elon Musk, evil ass. He killing black folks, and he moved his plant right in the damn hood. Why can't you move your fucking plant in the wilderness somewhere? He moved it right next to the hood. You got people complaining of coughing and shit, but Michael Keaton don't think those people deserve reparations. You fucking barbarian. And then when he get pressed with this knowledge, he go snitch like a damn white supremacist. He's a white supremacist, man. Michael Kiesel's a white supremacist, and his followers that agree with him. I don't think y'all really agree with. I ain't gonna throw his followers under the bus. I was gonna call y'all white supremacists too, but I'm gonna give y'all grace. I'm gonna give y'all grace because y'all. What did Jesus Christ say? My people will perish from lack of knowledge. And if you following Michael Kiesel for knowledge, boy, you are cooked. You are bound to go to hell. Radium has been discovered just 20 years earlier by the French physicists Marie Curie and Pierre Curie, and its properties were not well known, family, because it has been used successfully in the treatment of cancer. Many consider radium a miracle element, and variety of commercial products were manufactured in which radium was an ingredient, including toothpaste and cosmetics. The women hired to the plant Dows came to be known as ghost girls because the radium dust to which they were exposed to daily made their hair and skin literally glow, y'all. But Michael Keaton don't think these people deserve reparations because they was born. It happened to them 100 years ago. They don't deserve shit, right? Michael Keaton, Kiesel, will you fucking weasel? He hurried up and got out of that and reported that post before we could screen. I should have just screenshotted it. I'm surprised they should have just took his comments down. I don't know why they just took the whole post down. That was weird to me. I already know y'all out there crying. I already know y'all because when I read the story, I said, "Oh my god!" I said, "Oh my god!" And you know where I first heard this story at? I got hired to be a machine operator, right? And they played this story, this video. You know how you got to watch the video when you first get hired. They played this exact same video I'm about to show y'all, and I said, I damn near broke down in the damn waiting room. I said, I said, these fucking white men did this shit. I said, these dirty ass white men did this shit. The lady was like, yeah, they did. I said, wow. I said, those are some true barbarians, man. She said, you hired on the spot. So I know how to show remorse and grace to people like a real Christian. But Michael Kiesel and friends and the people that agree with him saying, oh, we don't pay black people in reparations, knowing damn well that was a fucking COINTELPRO tactic to get the black father out the damn household. Like, if you don't know this shit, you're not a real American. In my eyes, you're not. You're not. Not in my eyes. You might be on paper, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, he got. I'm still scrolling on my page. I'm like, damn, he got my content. No, here it is. I found it. I found it. I found it, y'all. I found it. I found it. Here it go. Here it go right here. I said the U.S. military bombed hundreds of black neighborhoods throughout America, and you, sir, don't believe black Americans deserve reparations? I said, well, let's hear it. We got about 94 comments on here. And they all off topic. They all off topic. All the people that came on this page, all off topic. They don't know American history. We could go there on each one. She talking, Deanna posted, she talking about some shit that happened in Philly. She said the Tulsa race massacre was treated differently. She ain't got nothing to do with no damn Philly. It's happened in Tulsa. They should have sued the local law enforcement. They ordered the attack on the town. Oh, okay. All right, I'm reading that wrong. I remember it happening in Philly. They killed so yeah, they was doing that shit all around America. They was doing that shit all around America. Here go Michael Kiesel's comment. He said hundreds of neighborhoods. He said no, they fucking didn't, you liar. That's why I'm doing it. He called me a damn liar. What else was I supposed to do as a man? What else was I supposed to do as a man? Well, I forgot to send this to Osborne. Hold on, we might have to get him. We might have to get him on the show. Yeah, we might have to get him on the show. I'm gonna send this over to him. I forgot to send him that live. All right, let's get into it. He said this happened one time in Philly in 1985, and one target building and another in 1921 Tulsa, which was one targeted neighborhood. Does this look like one targeted neighborhood? Which were private aircraft, not the U.S. military. Yeah, all right. Okay. I said the bombings had nothing to do with slavery. I must have commented on the wrong post. I'll admit where I'm wrong. Because you had about 9. I was responding to like 8 people at the same time. So yeah, that my bad about that one, Michael Kiesel. I wish you you need to come up on here. You need to come up on here, bro. you had other people on here too acting a damn fool as well. But he erased that other post, man. Michael Kiesel, you need to come up on here right now, sir. You need to come up on here right now. But let's get into this right here. Let's get into this.
On the 20th of April, 1902, after years of hard work, Marie and Pierre Curie successfully isolated a brand new element, radium. It was thought at the time that this new material might have all kinds of beneficial properties, and so radium was swiftly incorporated into a huge range of products, everything from makeup to ceramics to health tonics and jewelry. What wasn't understood at this time was that radium was, in fact, quite deadly. The popularity of radium shortly after its discovery cannot be overstated. Radiation was something that wasn't well understood at the time, but which had positive associations. It was understood that radiation could be used to kill cancerous cells, but the damaging effects it had on healthy cells weren't fully appreciated. Added to this was the fact that radium glowed, a visible effect that was quite extraordinary at the time, and which led many to believe that it must surely have some almost magical health-giving properties. Picking up on this, quack doctors were quick to promote radium as invigorating and curative. With this incorrect belief firmly entrenched, radium was soon included in everything. You could buy chocolate and other snacks laced with radium, or purchase a radium-coated crock in which to store your drinking water. Radium was added to makeup, to skincare products, to toothpaste and other toiletries. It was available to buy in the form of radium plasters, radium ointment, radium syrup, and even radium suppositories. Medicines that were touted as treating every ailment imaginable. You could even visit radium spas, where you would be exposed to the material in radium-infused baths and saunas. As the world descended into World War I, another use for radium came to the forefront. When infused into paint, it would make that paint glow in the dark. This made it an ideal material for coating watch faces, control panels, and instrument dials. Radium provided much-needed illumination for soldiers in the field, without them having to rely on lamps or other bulky equipment. From 1917, the demand for radium-coated dials skyrocketed, which was good news for the United States Radium Corporation. The company had been in the business of extracting and processing uranium for a few years. Now it expanded to mixing and applying radium-infused paint, a substance which they called undark. With the war effort requiring an extraordinary number of luminous dials, business boomed. Within a year, there were facilities in several states, including a plant in Orange, New Jersey, which specialized in the painting of dials. Many local women were pleased to secure a job at this facility. It was considered good work. It was well paid, the conditions were fairly pleasant compared to other jobs, and it was skilled and respectable work. On top of all that, of course, it was perceived as not being overly dangerous, certainly when compared to working in a munitions factory. All things considered, it was no surprise that many local people were employed as dial painters. The typical work of a dial painter was simple but painstaking. They would be supplied with radium paint and freshly stamped dials, and had to use paintbrushes to strategically apply radium to the parts of the dial which needed to glow.
So, you see what's taking place here as well. Now, like I said, What did Michael Kiesel say? He said, "Oh, it wasn't at the military. It was not the military." Does this sound like some damn? This don't sound like just some regular people, bro. Few six, 5, 6 people. Does this sound like 10 people just just came through 600 damn businesses, 21 man? That's the military, dude. Even says in the damn book, military style assault on community going beyond uncontrolled mob violence. So they went past that. We just go flip back and forth between the Radium Girls and the Black Wall Street. Because, like I said, he don't believe it. He don't believe in repairing shit. Like I said, he hurried up and erased his. He hurried up and erased that post. He hurried up and erased that post. But that's crazy that him and his friends would even say something like that. Like, why would that come out your mouth? Like you have no fucking sympathy for nobody. Michael Kiesel, man. Golly, Michael Kiesel, man. Where are you at, Michael Kiesel? And where's his friends at? They silent right now. Silent. It's so damn silent. You can hear a church mouse pick on cotton out this bitch. So Black Wall Street was no different than the Wall Street you got up in New York today. You gotta think that was a pipeline to many communities. Black Wall Street was its own economic tycoon. But you go hear everybody talking about, oh, black people didn't build America. Black people didn't do, man. Come on, man. When we built it, it got burned the fuck down. Where are you at, hypocrite? When we built it, you had white mobs, military come burn the shit down. And then you wonder why they you ain't got no reparations, no repair, nothing. Not even for these white women. You know what they blamed it on? They said these women had syphilis. I ain't talking about all white men. When I say the white man, you know who the fuck I'm talking about too. When I say, oh man, the white man, you know who that motherfucker is. It ain't all white. I don't lump people together like Michael Kiesel and friends. I ain't gonna lump everybody together. Let's get into the video, family. Where y'all at? See what I'm saying? Y'all don't like. I don't think y'all like real people. I think y'all like fake people. I really do think that. I really do. I really think y'all like imitation crab meat. Is that safe to say?
Precision was required, and so workers were instructed to lick the tips of their brushes in between each application in order to bring the bristles to a fine point. In addition to this, workers were under the impression that working with radium was a perk of the job. The stuff was considered, by the general public at least, to be health-giving rather than dangerous. And indeed, some people paid a lot of money to visit radium spas or purchase radium-infused products. The workers at the United States Radium Corporation had access to the stuff for free, and so they used it. painting their teeth and nails to give them a pleasant glow before heading out to dances in the evenings. Years passed. Hundreds of thousands of dials were painted and shipped out. The war ground on, and eventually came to an end, much to the relief of the general population. But all was not well for the ex-workers of the United States Radium Corporation. Slowly, one by one, dial painters were falling ill. As the 1910s became the 1920s, hundreds of women who had worked as dial painters over the last few years started noticing pain in their teeth and jaws. Many were having to visit their dentists on a regular basis, and were losing teeth with each and every visit.
That's crazy.
They were constantly exhausted and in pain, and in some cases it was found that their jawbones were riddled with holes, reduced.
But Michael Keaton and friends don't believe these people should get reparations, y'all. They don't believe in it. They don't believe in repairing this white woman's teeth or this black man church, or that they don't believe in that. That's crazy, y'all. Stop me when I don't think. See, people not even coming up here. People not even coming up here. Because you guess what? Guess what will happen? If somebody really had something to say against me right now, they would have been said it. They'd have been like, "You fucking lie." They would have been said it on here. You fucking liar. Get it? But I'm not, because every time I go in, I talk to the oversoul. I don't talk to the skin suit, who they call Michael Weasel. I'm talking over his head. Very surgical with the knowledge, y'all. But like I said, Michael Kiesel, he weaseled his way out of this one. He sure did. He sure did. Shouts out to Michael Kiesel though, man. I ain't bashing you over the head. I'm trying to show you some morality, man. I'm pretty sure you don't want to walk around being a barbarian over these atrocities throughout American history. You don't want to be no barbarian. And like I said before, this is why, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is why ain't nobody voting Republican. A lot of people not voting Republican this year because you got stuck up, infested Magites. They just infested. A lot of MAGA is infested right now. A lot of MAGA heads are infested, and it's looking bad. Because the thing is, this is why I started my own radio show, because I want to be able to talk for myself, not this caucasoid, because he's gonna make me look bad. So when people be like, "Oh, Nick Fuentes said this," Megyn Kelly said this, Candace Owens said this, I'm like, man, the motherfuckers don't speak for the whole group. Like, they don't speak for the whole group. That's the problem. All this we shit, like we French, we like we Anthony Weiner in this bitch. No, ain't no we nothing. There's this one guy. I be commenting on his show because I be peeping y'all. I be peeking and picking y'all out the crowd. I done got into an argument. See, the thing is, Michael Keaton don't remember we got into the same argument a few months ago. I don't forget people. So I pick out these perk heads, and then we make a show. We make a show out of it. Let's get back into the video. I'm pretty sure you already got y'all tissues out, because just go on his page right now and see if he believe in reparations. Ask him, Michael Keaton, do you believe in reparations? And if he says no, he's a demon. If he says no, he's a demon, because if he don't believe these people should be repaired, he damn sure don't believe the white women should be repaired. Because the thing is, this was more sinister than this. It was only like, how many? It's probably about, how many girls was it? I ain't trying to match the damn, violence level, but these people got bombed. This was a slow death, but shit. The thing is, they was glowing in the dark. So they basically, this might be, if it was just 6-on-6, well, shit. I don't know. Saying it's demonic either way. I ain't gonna try to put no violence level on this shit. Shit. I ain't gonna put no violence level on it. Cause y'all gonna call me a fucking hypocrite. Both fucking atrocities were very demonic, and they need to be repaired, man. Things need to be repaired. You don't think the Cabbage Patch Babies of Coney Island need reparations? They were in human. You gotta think, white people, they was in human zoos, and you got Lobster Boy, they was getting experimented on, Frankenstein and shit. Those are real stories, real atrocities. You got the Benjamin Button disease, where they was experimenting on a little orphanage, all that. The orphanage kids, they were trafficked. That was one of the first times kids got trafficked in America through the orphanage system. And you telling me because it happened 100 years ago, them orphans and all them people don't need reparations? You telling us that on live TV right now? You telling us that? Are you fucking serious, dude? Are you fucking kidding me? Boy, y'all in trouble, man. Let's see what Trump got. Let's see what Trump got going on. Because I know y'all all, that's why y'all left the damn fucking video.
Month and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years, 5 months and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months and 28 days. We are in this military operation so powerful, so brilliant against one of the most powerful countries.
When did he start?
32 days. And the country has been eviscerated and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing, the brilliance of the United States military. Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
What did he say, man? Fucking around with Michael Kiesel, man. Well, this shit had to be said anyway, man. This shit had to be said. I think Iran, they trying to make Trump pay reparations. They trying to make Trump pay reparations. That's what they said. That was a part of their deal for Trump to pay reparations to Iran. You think Trump gonna pay reparations? Hell no. Because Iran, shit, they probably owe us reparations. You see how that could go? I want to know what he said. It was only 30 minutes. This one was short and sweet. He ain't play with y'all, did he? What are people saying? Michael Kiesel, golly, dude. Y'all really follow that guy? Y'all really follow that guy, Michael Kiesel? Like, dude, he did a Vinny Vici. President Trump becomes the first president in history to sit in the Supreme Court oral arrangements as a debate over Trump's order ending birthright citizenship. Bro, wow. He becomes the first president in history to sit in on Supreme Court oral arguments as they debate. The thing is, they gave him the power to do that. They forked over the power to do that. At this point, Trump is above the Supreme Court, y'all. Y'all ended up giving Trump dictator powers, man. That's why I said that there won't be no more. It's the last president. Everything after that will just be, yeah, puppets to AI. AI will be the next president. And, wow, I guess they went to the moon, but we all know that's fishy. Michael Kiesel, he believes in globe Earth. He a globe head. He believe in all that CGI shit. So, what did he say? This Florida Democratic politician found dead in her home. What the fuck? What the fuck? Hold on, y'all. I gotta go to that story. That's some wild ass shit. Look at this, y'all. Florida Democrat politician found dead in home. Husband arrested. Nancy, her husband Meta Yair Bowen, a Florida Democratic politician gearing up to run for Congress, was found dead in her home. And police say her husband has been arrested in connection with her death. Wow. Nancy was the vice mayor of Commissioner of Coral Springs, and local police say they went to her home Wednesday morning for a wellness check and found her dead body. Who is her husband? Cops say Nancy's husband, Stephen. Who the fuck is Stephen Bowen? Who the fuck is Stephen Bowen? Stephen Bowen is also an astronaut, y'all. Did he go on that space flight today? That's weird. But Stephen Bowen is also an astronaut. Let me said, I'm in shock. I was just with her Sunday. She just buried her brother. She was about to announce she was running for Congress. Her husband what does her husband do? What? The outlet citing sources report Nancy was going to run in Democratic primary for the seat held by Representative Sheila McCormick, who was indicted for allegedly funneling $1 million. Yep. Nancy was elected. I knew it too. And I ain't trying to downplay her life or death, but Nancy was elected in 2020 as the first Black and Haitian American. Black and Haitian. So she ain't foundational. Trust me. She's basically a Candace Owens. And rest in peace to her too. It's got a little confusion going on in America. Like y'all think she's down with black people, but she's really a damn Haitian. I want to know who her husband's probably a white dude too. Probably got tired. He probably got Negro fatigue and busted over the head with a fucking frying pan. That's what it is. Something for real. It be those Kamala Harris's. Fuck with them crazy Jewish white men. The thing is, they ain't gonna let no more Kamala Harris's come in there and fuck shit up. I'm gonna be honest with you. And her husband was probably her damn handler. He said, "You ain't about to fuck democracy up, bitch." Hell no. Shit's crazy, y'all. I think we pretty much. I don't think we have to go into detail with this, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Michael Keaton, man. You needed to come to terms with Christ, man. You need to repent, dude. You honestly need to repent because the way you and your followers are thinking, that's fucking barbaric, man. That's part of that barbarian barbarianism. That's a whole religion where y'all don't give a fuck about nobody. Y'all don't even give a fuck about y'all damn selves. And it's spreading like cancer throughout the MAGA community. To be honest, spreading like cancer. So we gonna end up like the left, y'all. Don't trust me. We gonna end up like the left. But I'll be on here tomorrow. Wow. Look at this shit, y'all. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave this. This one's gonna sting because this gonna be the icing on the cake right here. Fuck it. I'm gonna go cook because a lot of people do not believe certain things, and I have to give y'all a history lesson. And this was a debate between somebody else. So I'm gonna put it on the video, but let's go over this while we at it. This must be said too. What the fuck is this, dude? This is Christy Noam's husband, and they blame this shit on a damn immigrant. He was fucking with an immigrant, y'all. And the thing is, Christy Noam, she got all that money for that damn commercial, and then this shit happened. She walked away like a fat cat with our tax dollars. Trump need to investigate this shit. Cause I don't know if he was a part. He probably was a part of that shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to put nothing on him. But damn, that commercial wasn't shit, bro. That commercial was she got some explaining to do, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Trump got to clean some damn shit up, man. Cause she walked away with how much was that commercial? $200 million of our tax money. Motherfucker have to have some explaining to do on that shit. And then she come up, her husband come up like this, and then she automatically get fired or demoted. But she walk away like a fat cat. She walked away like a fat cat. Nobody's talking about this because they scared to fucking address it. I ain't scared to address this shit. Now let's get into some damn history lesson because this is a part of this because he don't believe black people. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think he's very fond of dark skinned people, man. And that's sad to say. Because his followers, he don't check his followers. His followers is being very nasty towards me, y'all. So we gotta put this in perspective. So we're gonna pull this video up. How long is this video? This video ain't too long. I'm about to go upstairs and fix me something to eat. I'm about to come right back down. So let's get into this video.
to be honest with you,
All
man.
right, go.
Well, I guess the first thing I'll say is I do support your message overall.
Okay.
Um, I appreciate the fact that you are an outspoken advocate for Black people.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need people like that. I think that's important.
Now, are you a Caucasian?
But
Are you Caucasian?
no, I'm Black. I'm half FBA.
Okay, where's your mom from?
So my mom was born in LA, but my grandfather is from Paris, Texas. So it's in like the northern part of Texas, like on the border of Oklahoma.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm actually funnily enough, my grandfather's great grandfather was actually a slave. He was born in Mississippi. He was on a cotton plantation in Mississippi. So I'm half FBA.
And where's your dad from?
He's from El Salvador.
Okay, got it.
Well, he was born in LA too, but his family's from El Salvador.
Got it. Okay. So
Yeah.
what issues do you have?
Um, I think that overall you are, I feel like your message is good. You say a lot of good things, but I feel like you've become kind of a net negative to the Black community in some
How
respects.
so?
I feel like you're a net negative because you preach a lot of divisiveness, and it's not necessarily that divisiveness is bad inherently, but I think it's kind of like counterproductive at the end of the
Give
day.
an
Like the
an
sum.
example of my divisiveness that I speak of.
So you reiterate a lot of kind of like white supremacist narratives, in my opinion,
Like
stuff
what?
that you would hear.
You keep saying,
Um,
you go, wait. Okay, I've asked 3 times to give an example. You just made a bunch of accusations if you've not given one example.
okay,
We're not.
I can give you an example.
So now that's kind of white supremacy when you just kind of say shit and don't back it up. Give
Okay,
me an example.
yeah,
What
yes,
divisive
yeah,
or
yeah.
like white supremacy? I got to hear this.
Okay, yeah. So I would say a lot of times when you talk about like Black folks, especially like African immigrants, especially, it comes across that way. Like when you say you're bush meat, things like that, or when you say like you come from a failed homeland, things like that. Like when you say things like that, it's very reminiscent of white supremacist talking points.
Is calling us lazy and we don't work hard and we're on drugs. Is that white supremacy? Because they do that to us all the time.
Oh no, that is it.
So
It goes both
how
ways. It goes both ways.
El Salvadorians, your
What about them?
they come over here with them El Salvadorian gangs, MS-13 and all of them.
Hmm. Not my family.
No,
We came here legally.
but still, them El Salvadorians, they're clicked in with the Aryans over here, especially in jail.
Is that true?
Yeah,
I don't think that's true.
yeah.
I-
It is
Where is this? Is this in LA?
Southern California. Yeah, the Hispanic.
I'm from LA. I've never heard that.
Have you? Well, you never been to jail. You don't know about
True.
the system. They do.
Yeah.
They're allied with the Aryans in jail. The Mexicans and the El Salvadorians, MS-13s, and all them.
Well, that's terrible.
They align with the white. So what you just did was called a projection, sir. That's a projection. All right. So we better be clear on not putting out projections like that. That's not cool.
Well,
Now what? Now
okay.
divisive. Now you said something about divisive. What? Now
Yeah.
what's divisive?
So I would say this, right? I lived in DC for a while, and I met a lot of Ethiopians and I met a lot of Somalians,
Right.
and a lot of them are outspoken. A lot of them are advocates for foundational Black Americans as well. A lot of us get along perfectly well with them, and there's no animosity or beef. And I think you're trying to like stir up this artificial conflict between African immigrants and Black people, and it's just like, why are you creating an unnecessary conflict? It's like not, I don't think that's necessary.
So you're saying, because what you're saying to all of us in here, that immigrants who come here do things to us, do things to get in positions over us to harm us. We're not supposed to call that out. We're not supposed to call out all of these non-FBAs who's a part of the Congressional Black Caucus who get in power and don't do anything for our lineage, but do a bunch of things for immigrants. And that's not divisive, but us calling it out is divisive.
Well, what are they? I'm sorry, you're going to have to be specific. What are they not doing for Black people? How are they sabotaging Black people?
They don't.
Because I don't.
Well, when you have people like Kamala Harris, the head tether in charge, who say with her whole chest, she ain't going to do nothing that only benefits Black people. Yeah, that's a problem. You ain't.
Tariq, you have to see the bigger picture.
Oh, I see the bigger picture. The bigger picture is her ass not getting elected. That's what the bigger picture is.
Tariq, are you aware of how unpopular reparations is? Not even just
Do you
amongst.
think I give a damn? We don't.
Well, I'm saying Kamala is worried about political viability. She's not going
A
to
lot
go
of
up there and
things.
say she wants to.
No. LGBT stuff ain't that popular either, but they press for it. Don't nobody want that shit. They don't want trans stuff in the schools, but they put it in there anyway. That's extremely unpopular. They put it in anyway. So I don't give a damn what's unpopular. We're standing on business. Slavery and freedom wasn't popular. We said, hey, we're going to make it popular. Civil rights wasn't popular. These folks didn't want us to have no civil rights in the 60s. Why?
Well, you have. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no. See, you're bringing your immigrant side of the family. You're bringing that mindset over here that we don't have. That's why it looks divisive to you, because we stand on business based on what's righteous, not what's popular. Some bullshit can be popular. We're standing on what's righteous. And what's righteous is justice. What's righteous is our reparations. I don't give a damn if it's unpopular. They sit up here and give our resources to all of these non-FBAs. That's divisive. Are you saying we're supposed to just sit here and let our resources get given away to all of these other groups indefinitely?
Well, no. Not give away resources to other groups indefinitely. No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't even disagree with the idea of reparations in theory. I think that reparations is a totally defensible idea. I'm more so speaking to the mindset of why people don't go up there and say it. It's because if they do, they're not going to get elected. There's no way. Like,
Okay.
do you think you understand what that means when you ask for reparations? Do you know what that implies?
But why is it divisive? Why are we divisive? You said we're divisive.
Well, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, if I'm divisive because I want my lineage to get what they're supposed to get. I want them to get tangibles because they need help too. How is that divisive?
Well, because what you're basically doing is you're making people pay for the sins of their father. You're making people who had nothing to do.
Is over here getting paid from the.
Yes, I agree.
Right. So
I agree. That's true.
Your daddy can come over from El Salvador and get resources and benefits. Miss me with.
Well, he's an American citizen. He worked for it, so it's not the same. Don't frame it like that.
No,
we've paid into the system too. And I'm also half FBA, so you can't use that argument.
No. Your people, your dad came over here and got a bunch of unearned benefits.
No, he didn't. He's an American citizen. He's a legal citizen. He was born here, and his mom was a citizen. He
got unearned benefits. When your dad came here, he pulled up a plate and started eating. He didn't bring anything to this country. He came over here and pulled up a plate and got a bunch of benefits from being an immigrant, sir. We didn't owe him nothing, but he got stuff. Immigrants get stuff. I don't want to hear all of that. If foundational Black Americans get something, you're paying for the sins of the father and all of that bullshit. No, we're the only people who are really owed something. We're really owed. Your father coming over from El Salvador is not owed anything. So that's not divisive by saying that I don't want to keep giving my resources to non-citizens. I want to make sure foundational Black Americans are good. How is that divisive? Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to speak over you. That's my bad.
It's all right. It's all right, but go ahead.
I want to be respectful.
Right.
Well, a couple things. I'll say this. What was your question again? Sorry, there was a lot there. What was the last question?
Yeah, my thing is, if your dad and other immigrants can come over here and get a whole bunch of plethora of resources, why is that okay? But when we want it, it's paying for the sins of the father and all of that. When we want resources that we earn on our own homeland, why is that a problem?
Okay, so I'll address the part about the sins of the father thing, and then I'll address how my dad is involved in that second. So the first one I'll say is like, you have to think about it from the broader perspective. If a bunch of people feel like they have to pay taxes into a system that is basically repatriating their taxpayer money to reparations, that's not like a politically viable thing. Like, I don't like that's just not going to poll well. That's not going to work. You're going to have a lot of people who protest that. I just don't. And I'm not even saying the idea of it is bad. I think it's a perfectly justifiable and defensible idea in theory, like reparations. That makes perfect sense to me. I just don't see it working pragmatically. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a successful thing. I think if Black people in this country want power, you need to build a coalition. You need to get smart, talented people to come together, and then you need to lobby Congress. But you can't just ask for reparations. That's the first thing I'd say.
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I would say with that, I completely disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. Because yeah, we're owed that. And we're not going to sit up here and let this debt linger indefinitely.
Hmm.
Built this country from the ground up. That money and the resources was passed down generationally, locked in generationally, and the deprivation of those resources has been locked in. And all of these other groups have been prioritized over us, and those days are over. And the thing is, and the problem is, there's an ungratefulness there. We sit up here prioritizing these other groups as foundational Black Americans, helping them out. And then when we say, you know what, it's time for us to look out for ourselves, we get gentlemen like you who call in and say that I'm divisive because I want to look out for my lineage. I think that's very disrespectful. And that's probably the reason why the pendulum is swinging and people are very indifferent to all of this deportation that's going on. Because what you did, that type of disrespect, that's disrespectful not just to me, not just to people in here, but to our lineage. And you can say, well, yeah, you got somebody who might have been a slave somewhere, but you have dual allegiance. And that's a different vibe. You still have a different energy from a full foundational Black American because you still have somewhat of an exploitive mindset. So one part of the lineage wants to exploit the other part. So there's a dichotomy and a dual allegiance there that a lot of us full foundational Black Americans don't have. I'm 10 toes down for the lineage because I'm FBA on both sides of my family. I ain't got no immigrants in my family. So everything is blood, sweat, and tears in this soil. That's not divisive looking out for my people and my lineage. Your people look out for their people and their immigrant lineage. So we are not going to take the same kind of criticism that's unfounded. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, you threw a lot of accusations at me right there, so I'm trying to process all that. You're saying I have a dual allegiance, but like I'm at least a third generation on my dad's side, and I'm like at least 8 or 9 generations on my mom's side. So there's no dual allegiance. I'm in favor of mass deportations as well. I think everybody who decided to sit out these ICE protests, I was completely on board with that. There's no reason why we should be out there supporting that. I think this country is for Americans. I think if you came here illegally, you should be sent back home. And I think we should have an immigration moratorium. So I'm with you on that. We should prioritize Americans. And Black people have got the short end of the stick for the past 400 years. I'm with you on that too. And like I said, the idea of reparations is fine. I was more so when I said about you being divisive, I think all the unnecessary like slander on Africans and Caribbeans, it just is distasteful. That's all I'm saying.
No, slander how? How do I slander them? Because if y'all come in trying to roast, I'm going to roast your ass back. So let's stop with that.
I'm
No, stop with that. Yeah, look, these tethers, they come in trying to roast and they're not funny and they're not really witty. And they do all of this little slick talking behind the scenes and they caca and kiki. And then they come in here and trying to roast with us and then they lose. They get into roast battles and then they lose. That's what happens. Don't turn around and talk about you being slandered and all that. If you try to roast, we're the masters of that and we're going to light your ass up. And that's a part of our culture. Roasting is a part of foundational Black American culture. We roast each other. You understand? So
oh, I know.
we'll roast each other.
I know.
You ain't
Yeah.
roasted. No, you ain't above. Everybody's gonna get hit, especially if you come in arrogant and
Yeah.
and your forehead looking janky and your hairline is janky. You giving us
Hmm. I've gotten it. I've gotten the work before. I understand how it goes.
is. So yeah, it up.
Well,
Yeah.
look, I guess it's just there's a bit of an irony in that,
How
and
so?
the reason I say that is because look, I know you're big on this whole black people or black Americans are indigenous to this country,
Yeah.
but if you look at the DNA and genetic testing, that's not necessarily the case. I think what like 80 or 90%, and just let me and you can respond in a second. I just want to say this real quick. Sorry, just last time I checked, about 80 or 90% of Black Americans' DNA is from Africa, and the other like 10, 20% is like European. So this notion that like Black Americans were like somehow indigenous to America is just not true. I just think that's something that's important to know.
Okay. So were all of the people who
Go ahead, sorry.
okay, so there's a great book by a colleague of mine, a brother named Chase McGee, called The 19 White Men Who Said That Black People Were Native to the US. And he has so many documents, so much proof of all of these European explorers, Balboa, Pizarro, Columbus, all of these people, Nunez, that they would come here, all the indigenous people, all of them, these people look like the same folks in Ethiopia or Africa, or they look Moorish. These are terms for black. They just kept saying it over and over again. Archaeological science digs shown that there were bones here dug up and excavated that were sub-Saharan African.
Really?
There were,
Sub-Saharan African?
yes. Luzia woman down in Brazil, one of the oldest fossils of a human in the Americas. They did a reconstruction. It's a damn black woman. You can look it up, sir. There were black people on this land for thousands of years. Not only that, black people were here before the red Siberian looking Asianoid Native Americans. We were here before them, before they walked.
Well, Tariq, sorry, go ahead.
Again, I can just throw all types of receipts. Go, you can look up paintings of the Ohlone Indians in California. There's paintings of them in the 1800s. They look like African tribes. There were black people on the land. Black people were all over the world. Why wouldn't do you? I'm asking you. Do you think the people in Samoa, dark skin, afros, all in the Pacific Islands, you think black looking people didn't reach North America?
Well, it's infinitely more complicated than that when you look at genetics. So I won't deny it's definitely possible that there could have been people from Africa who um, found a way to get to the North American continent. But there's two problems with that. The first one is that there might be a small percentage and probably an inconsequential and negligible marginal percentage of FBAs who do have indigenous DNA, but it's a very small percentage. Like I said, most of them genetically have African, predominantly African, and then some European DNA. That's number one. But the second thing I'll say is that it's possible because genetics is weird like that. It's possible for like Chinese or European people to have more genetic flow and admixture with say people who what's the name of this tribe? What's the name of the tribe? It's an Asian tribe, and they're off the coast of Australia, and it's a very small tribe, but they um, they they emigrated out of Africa. Well, okay, so when humans left Africa about 70,000 years ago to go to Europe and Asia, they immigrated out. They went to various parts of the Asian and European continent, and then they moved to all these small islands. So even though these people in these Aboriginals who live off the coast of Australia have more phenotypical similarities to like a sub-Saharan African, they actually have more genetic gene flow and admixture with Chinese and with Asians and with Europeans because there's less genetic drift. Because when people left Africa and then went to the Asian continent, after that, they went to these Aboriginal islands. So even though they look completely different, they actually have more genetic similarity. And so it could be the same situation with the people that you're referring to, where,
Yeah, but let me,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
here's the thing. Yeah, that's really trying to pinch a straw because these people phenotypically look black. Now,
Yes.
Fiji, these people, they'll tell you their origin, they came from Africa thousands of years ago. They'll tell you that. But they are basically Polynesian to a certain degree. They had an ethnogenesis. That's called an ethnogenesis. Look, foundational Black Americans, we have a lot of European admixture. You understand?
Hmm.
We have Aboriginal admixture. We do have African DNA as well, but we are a new ethnic group. We had a complete ethnogenesis. And the whole notion that we would not have Aboriginal lineage here, and we've been here longer than any damn body, that's impossible. That's ridiculous. Of course we do. Um, those Black Aboriginal people, what happened to them? They didn't just all disappear. You know, they were absorbed and they were just reclassified as Negro in many cases. Some were blended in with the $5 Indian whites, but we're still here. So to say that we don't have any Aboriginal DNA, that would historically and scientifically be incorrect. It would be impossible for us to not have it because we've been here too.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I just, from the genetic testing that I'm aware of, this is the majority of Black Americans. If I think that's, yeah, the majority of Black Americans predominantly have DNA. I'm talking like upwards of 80-90% from Africa. Then the other 10-20% is European with like
Listen,
some indigenous mixed
the
in.
D,
That's my
the
understanding.
DNA tests don't list tribes. They don't list Aboriginal tribes. They don't have markers for them. There's no marker for a Creek Indian. Genetically, there's no such thing as a Creek Indian genetically. Because a Creek Indian was somebody, the Europeans saw a bunch of Native Americans living by a creek and said, hey, you guys are Creek Indians. So genetically, there's something else. But they just got these titles. Most of these Native American tribes, they got their titles and names from Europeans or their experiences with Europeans. There's no such thing as a genetic Seminole. You understand? A Black person, genetically, they can be African. They'll have some African genetics. But the thing is, that doesn't mean that they were not a Seminole because the Seminoles were Black for the most part. And Seminole was just an amalgamation of the word Cimarron, which meant runaway. You understand? So there are no markers for a lot of the Aboriginal tribes that were here. Everybody just kind of got thrown in one big category. And with those DNA tests, they pretty much put everybody in three places. You go to any DNA test, they're going to put you in Asia, Africa, and Europe. All of them. You understand? So those things are so damn vague that that can't really accurately pinpoint what tribe is what. If you go to Fiji and do a DNA test on them, that shit is going to show some African DNA. You understand? Or African, Asian, possibly some European. So going by that, that's not a correct standard to go by when you just end on those DNA tests because they're markers that they just don't have. A lot of the Aboriginal tribes, they were not federally recognized. So it's a whole bunch of things. Go ahead.
Well, so okay, so by that, okay, I'm curious. By that logic, what race would you classify Black Americans as then, if they're if African, European, and as you said, what is it? Asian are the three predominant racial groups.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would you would classify Black people as Negroid, right?
Yeah.
You classify them as Negroid. Yeah. So
Black.
yeah. But you're saying they're like a unique ethnic group entirely? Black people, Black Americans?
No, we're not from outer space. No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we're not from outer space, dude. I'm talking because people try to make it more complicated than what it is. We're just like what a Jamaican is. In Jamaica, Jamaicans are their own ethnic group. If you do a DNA test on a Jamaican, it's going to go to Africa and Europe, right?
Probably Africa, I would assume. If you like sample the Jamaican guy's
I
DNA,
just
it would probably.
I said it's going to go to Africa and Europe. That's what.
Not Europe. I doubt Europe.
No, but
I doubt it.
they mixed in with the Irish. Yeah, they did. They were big. That's what the Jamaican accent is, an Irish accent. Irish real heavy. So yeah, it'll be some Irish stuff clicking in. But they're their own ethnic group based on their experiences on that island. Haitians are their own ethnic group. They're going to be traced back to Africa and France if you do some DNA testing on some Haitians.
Okay, let's just be real here for a second. If you take a random Jamaican guy's DNA and you sample it, it's gonna be like pretty similar to like a sub-Saharan African. It's not gonna give you like the average Irish guy's DNA. They're gonna have different alleles. They're gonna have a different genotype, like completely different. So I would say it would probably map back to sub-Saharan Africa almost 100%.
Yeah, I didn't deny that. You say now, yes, it's going to go to Africa, but it will probably have Irish in there too. You think some of them Irish weren't getting down with the Jamaicans and some of those slave owners weren't raping the women over there? Huh?
They probably were. Almost certainly they were.
Yeah, 100%. There's one guy named
Hmm.
Thistlewood who did a whole diary of his rapes. He just raped hundreds of women and made a diary about it called Thomas Thistlewood. He was a big slave owner over there in Jamaica. So yeah, you're gonna have some European DNA there, just like us. We as foundational Black Americans, will have some European DNA. We're still foundational Black Americans. We're still our own ethnic group. You understand?
Okay, and that's another thing I wanted to ask you. So the about foundational Black Americans. So um, a lot of people, well, you specifically, you say things along the lines of like Black people built this country.
Mm-hmm.
When you say that, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, that means we literally built the initial infrastructure and the culture, and the economy was built off the shoulders of foundational Black Americans. That's either true or it's not.
That's like 80 to 90% true. There's a little bit that's I contend with there.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Black people were like the biggest source of labor. They were undeniably the labor supply. Because to my understanding, Native Americans didn't have the capacity to withstand, slavery and harsh conditions.
The red one,
Um,
red ones.
yes, them specifically. Um,
But they did.
but
But slow down, because if you look at some of the documents and some of the laws and some of the slave charters or whatever, they absolutely had Indians enslaved. They would say it. They would have some of the laws. You can enslave Negroes, Indians, Moors, and they would have this person was sold to that person. That person was a Negro. That person was an Indian. So they were very specific. So there were, quote, Indians being sold, but it was the Black Aboriginal ones, not the red ones. But go ahead. The red ones cut deals with the Europeans. There was a law, 1700s, where the Creek Indians made some kind of deal where they would kind of
it was the 5 civilized tribes that struck deals with them, I think.
but this one particular law, some of the Creeks would work as slave catchers if they abide by this little treaty that they had with the U.S. government. They'll be protected to a certain degree as long as they turn in Black people who are runaways, or Black indigenous people. But go ahead about your building of the United States.
Yeah,
we're talking about.
Yeah. So I would say, Black people undeniably were the major labor supply, but I think it's a bit disingenuous to say that Black people built this country. I think that's more complicated than that.
Explain how so.
I would say overwhelmingly, this country in many regards was kind of an offshoot of, Europe and European civilization. And Black people have their own unique contributions to this country, undeniably. But I think like the majority of its architecture and its contours come from Europe. I think that's a fair statement to make.
Really?
Yeah, I would say so. Just if you look at the ideals of this country, the governmental body of this country with a democracy, these things were undeniably created, or at least popularized in European societies.
That's absolutely false. That's
Democracy? I thought democracy was Greece.
no. Well, they had democracy in Kemet.
People are saying I'm not half FBA. That's funny.
Yeah. There was democracy in Kemet. They had democracy there, but and also Greek society that broke down thousands of years ago. Europe, it fell into all types of chaos and debauchery. Didn't really have anything going on popping like that. Really before the slave trade got off the ground like that.
Really?
Yeah, Europe was a shithole.
Are you
Really,
sure about that?
I'm positive. What was going on in Europe
I mean,
in the hundreds?
in the
The only
third.
I'm talking the 1500. We're talking about slavery. We're talking about the building of the United States. And the United States didn't start getting it popping and really getting on its legs till 1619. That's why they bring up 1619. That was when slavery really got solidified here with black people. That's when it got really, really solidified. There was slavery before with the Spanish and all of that. It was a little different. And there were black people here documented who came with the Spanish, who came with other people. And there were Europeans who tried to start colonies here on their own and all failed. So this is why I'm saying you show me where they were doing all this stuff without foundational black Americans. You show me what they built over here before 1619.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna make sure I'm being specific with my language. And by the way, I got a bunch of people flooding me right now, mentioning me, saying that well, that's let me not get distracted with that.
Right.
I I don't disagree, like I said. And by the way, I don't want to offend or disrespect anyone. I'm
No,
just,
just
I'm
yeah, the apologizing now that don't mean nothing. Just we're talking. Just go ahead.
yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I agree with you. Like 60, obviously, I don't want to deny that Black people had a major contribution to this country, and anybody who says otherwise is just racist or dishonest. But like, I guess like framing it in the terms of, you know, we built the country. That framing to me, I disagree with. Now,
Okay, stop. Okay, if you say you disagree with it, you're going to have to bring some scholarship. I'm bringing scholarship. I'm saying we built the country. I'm saying this would not be a prosperous country without us, based on the facts, based on the results. I'm saying before 1619, the Europeans failed. So you can't say that we contribute to the greatness and the building of this country. Who else did it? The Europeans didn't do it without us. If they could do it, why didn't they do it themselves? And Europe wasn't shit at the time. It was nothing going on in Europe. Six,
really, no, that's not true. That's just false.
the
That's
six,
it.
sorry, the 1600s, these people were getting
Rome, Greece, the British Empire.
the British Empire. The British Empire wasn't the British Empire yet. Rome and Greece had been failed. That fell in the 6th century or the 4th century, something like that. Yeah, the
Well, they
fall
lasted thousands of years.
that was hundreds of years ago.
Rome?
Rome fell by the Vandals and the Visigoths. They sacked Rome, and then Europe fell into a damn dark age. Half the people in Europe died off.
Yeah, there was the Black Plague, but I'm saying civilizationally speaking, they were competent. They did succeed, and that we still see that. Like,
No, sir. No, you're not going to sit here and act like that whole period of the Dark Ages didn't exist. If they were so successful, why did they sit up there starving and dying all that time? And it was black people who got them out of that. It was the Moors who had to save them from that. Huh?
I have never heard of that before in my life.
You
The
ain't never heard?
Moors, the Moors saved Europe.
Yes.
I have never heard of that in
Never
my life.
heard the term thank heaven for 7-Eleven?
No, I've never heard that. This is the
You know what
first.
that
Didn't they go to Spain?
yeah. But the technology from Spain, from the Moors, that spread all over Europe. That's why Spain was the only country, that was the first country to leave Europe and go explore the world because of the technology from the Moors. All of the universities that were in Europe initially were the big universities were in Spain during the medieval times. That's where people were going to learn. That was a Moorish stronghold. There's black folks over there running.
Well, I can't. We're kind of straying away. We're kind of straying away to like
But
Spain.
but
I wanted to focus more so on America because I'm not too familiar with
but
European history. I'll be honest.
but you didn't know that. You didn't know that the Europeans damn near died off.
No, I knew that. I knew like half their population died during the Black Plague.
Yeah, even before that, even before the Black Plague, they had the Justinian plague.
That I wasn't familiar with.
Right, which damn near wiped everybody out. And the reason why they were able to get healed, the Moors came in 711. The Justinian plague officially ended around 725. So the Moors came in with medicines, alcohol, science, technology. They literally saved Europe.
Okay, okay, hold on. I need to make sure that's accurate because I've never heard that.
Hmm? Yeah, start
I'm not
Googling.
saying it's false. Sorry, I'm
I
just
know it ain't
checking.
false. Google. Yeah, start Googling.
This is fascinating. I've never heard this.
Yeah, yeah, they were dying off up there, and they
And
would have.
it's saying it's partially true.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They'll give up. They'll give it up a little bit. It's true. It's 100% true. It's not partially true. Europe wasn't shit, but in the
Well,
more,
are the Moors considered black? I thought the
yeah,
Moors were
no,
I thought the
no,
Moors were like a mixture of
more,
uh,
more literally black. It
I
literally
thought
meant
Moor meant Muslim.
no, because you had Christian Moors. You had um um. Why am I drawing a blank? You had Saint Maurice, who was a Christian. There's a statue of him in Germany. Look up Saint Maurice.
Well, look, Tariq, I'll be honest with you. I'm
No,
very
no.
skeptical of your history because your history
Okay,
is
okay. Are you
is selective.
no? Okay. Are you? I know you're googling right now. Google Saint Maurice of Germany.
Of Germany?
Yep, Saint Maurice,
Okay.
and tell me what you see.
Yeah, he was black, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
He was a Christian Moor. He was a martyr for Christianity, and they revere him in Germany. They got a bunch of statues of him in Germany. There was a lot of them. Moor means black. Whenever they talked about Moors historically, they were talking about black people. There were Moors who happened to be Muslims because Moors practicing Islam. But yeah, the Moors were generally black people based on all the descriptions, based on all of the paintings and everything else. And it was black Moors who were saving the Europeans. And when the Spanish came over, they brought some of those black Moors with them. They brought over Moors like Juan Garrido, who was a black Moor who was down in Mexico, who was the first person to cultivate wheat down in Mexico. And he built one of the first churches down there, the Church of San Hipólito. You had bringing Moors to Canada. Um, Mateo da Costa was one of the Moors that they brought over there. These Moors, for some reason, knew the languages here. When they brought when the Spanish came here, they had a man named Estevanico the Moor in North America. He was really the first foreigner to trek through what we now know as North America. That's what
Okay, that I have not heard. That I have never heard in my life.
you never heard about Estevanico?
No, I've never heard of that person.
Google Estevanico the Moor. Google it. We're doing a learning session now. See, you're learning a lot right now. Google Estevanico the Moor, and then
Okay.
there's about him. Then read out
Steven Nico.
Estevanico.
Oh,
Este-
Estevanico. Nico.
yeah.
Oh, here they are.
Okay. What does it say?
Let me see. What is he famous for? The first African to traverse Texas,
Mhm.
and in the company of three Spaniards, re-entered Texas from Mexico. Okay, so he was one of the earliest, I guess, African travelers to reach the North American continent. But are you sure he was? Are you sure he was African or black? Because they're saying it's Spanish. He's Spanish.
No, but he was
Oh, he was
this.
more.
He was a Moor. He was. There were a lot of Moors who were black in Spain. So a lot of folks come over and they'll say that they're Spanish, but they were really black.
Interesting.
They had a Spanish nationality. See, this is what I'm saying. Nationality and DNA and all of that is different. They'll say somebody is Spanish on paper, but the thing is, they have African DNA. They have black DNA. Just over there in the Dominican Republic, they have a whole bunch of people who were buried with Christopher Columbus, and they did an excavation on them. a lot of the people with Columbus who came over with him, they had African DNA.
You gotta admit, like it's just it's hard for me not to be reflexively skeptical because I've never heard any of this. But I
Yeah,
guess that's the American education
yeah.
system. But
Well,
like,
I'm giving you names. I'm having you look it up in real time to
yeah.
verify. I'm not just whistling Dixie. I can give you the scholarship. You see.
Well, look, let's go back to this because this is the
Now,
crux of.
right now, let's go back to the building of the United States.
Yes.
That's not us being hyperbolic. No, we built the United States. It wasn't white daddy. All right. They
Well,
failed.
I mean,
They failed.
yeah.
They could not have done it on their own. When they tried to start a colony in Roanoke, they failed. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
When the Spanish tried to start a colony over there in South Carolina, they failed. They repeatedly, the French, the Spanish, and the English, they tried to set up something down in St. Augustine. They repeatedly failed over and over again down there to the point of cannibalism. In Virginia, in the early Jamestown colony, they were failing there. They were cannibalizing each other. They're about to die off. In 1619, when Black people got introduced to those colonies and they started to have indentured servants and slavery, then shit started to pick up. They didn't do anything without Black people. They didn't get any stronghold or any foothold in this country without Black people. We've
Oh,
always secret sauce.
okay, but you gotta. Well, okay, hold on. But the vast majority of the inventors, the people who built the infrastructure, the people who developed the financial institutions, the banks, the most of the commerce and businesses and all that stuff, people who established most of the big important trade routes, like that was all, let's be real, all of that was created by whites, if we're
The
just being
first
real.
commodity on Wall Street was slaves.
Right.
Okay, fair enough.
The first commodity on Wall Street was slaves. That's the
Okay,
first commodity that was on Wall Street.
I'm not trying to deny any of that. I'm just saying I really want to be respectful here. I don't want to disrespect you guys, but I'm just saying, like, it's a historical record. It's a historical matter of fact that most of the institutions in this country were created almost exclusively by white Europeans.
No,
Like,
they
that's
were.
just a fact.
Listen to what you got to word it right. It was exploited by whites. It was exploited by the white supremacists.
The
Yes.
financial institution.
Yeah, these institutions were created from our labor. Everything was based on exploiting our labor, our talent, and our ingenuity. Everything was all about exploiting us. So we had to be there. It's just like a music artist. It's like if you get a music manager, you get like Jerry Heller, for example. I use Jerry Heller. You familiar with who he is?
No.
Okay, Jerry Heller, he was the manager of the group NWA. Jerry Heller made a lot of money.
Isn't he Jewish?
Yeah, he's Jewish.
Oh,
So
well, okay, that's a bit different.
why is that different?
Well, because Jewish people and white people kind of have divergent interests, divergent identities. They're not really, it's hard to classify them as being the same. They're different.
Not really.
A Jewish person would not call themselves white at all. Have you not seen all the photos of Jewish people flicking off the Arch of Titus in Rome? Like, that's not something white people would do.
You know the Jewish people who are classified as white?
I mean, don't they have a different genetic kind of like?
Aren't they but why do they classify themselves as white?
Well, I think there's obvious reasons for that. It helps them take advantage of white supremacy.
Right. Everybody
Yeah.
who's light enough to be classified as white wants that deal. They want to be a part of that exploitive deal. So that's a distinction without a difference. According to their religious background, that don't mean anything. So why would you even bring that?
Well, because it's very different. It's very different.
Not the victims of white supremacy.
Well, hold on. Because you have to understand, Jewish people are diasporic. Okay, white people come from individual countries. Sorry, go ahead.
It matters to people in the dominant white society. That doesn't matter to victims of white supremacy. That's
True.
like, yeah, that doesn't matter. It's like two slave owners fighting each other.
True.
Doesn't slave me. I don't care. I don't care what y'all have. That's so inconsequential to us. You understand?
I
So,
do. I get you.
y'all stop that. That's a waste of time. You had Jewish slave owners, Anglo slave owners,
Hmm.
Jewish Confederates, Anglo Confederates. They were all working together to subjugate me. So, yeah, pointing out the differences, I don't care. But back to what I was saying, I'm using the analogy of Jerry Heller. Jerry Heller was the manager of NWA. He made a lot of money. At the time, NWA was being exploited. Ice Cube and those guys, Ice Cube left the group because he wasn't getting no money. Easy was getting exploited. Dre left because he wasn't getting any money, didn't have any money. DOC, he left, he wasn't getting the right money. So the thing is, you can't say that Jerry Heller was the mastermind of everything. No, he just exploited the talent of the foundationals and exploited it for his own gain. So do you give him credit or do you give credit to the people with the talent?
No, in that instance, I absolutely would not give Jerry Heller credit. All of the credit would obviously go to the artist, and that's the thing. Like, Black people did create hip hop. They popularized hip hop, which is like probably one of the most lucrative cultural developments ever, or at least in modern history. That's like an indisputable fact.
Right.
And
But
and
and going back and just going back, listen, to build a nation, because we are the foundation of this nation. And to build a nation, you have to
that's
have
where I disagree with you. That's where I disagree when you say
okay,
that, because it's not true.
okay, prove it a lie.
Well,
Who
well, I mean, who created the telephone? Who created the light bulb? Who created the airplane? Who created the assembly line, electric power grids, personal computers? Like,
oh,
most of the important 21st century
oh,
inventions that we have today were. Sorry, go ahead. I'm cutting you off.
okay. Don't know. Let's break down everything you just said. Let's break down every invention you just said.
Sure.
Who invented the telephone?
Alexander Graham Bell.
Google who did the blueprints for Alexander Graham Bell.
Is it going to be a black guy?
Yeah, Lewis Latimer.
So you're saying he was the brains behind the telephone?
If he did the blueprints,
Okay.
he did the blueprints and made the patents, so he must have been instrumental. You say the light?
Who?
Who invented the light bulb? Was Thomas Edison?
Thomas Edison.
I got it from Lewis Latimer. That's another same black guy.
Okay, hold on. Let me check this, because
Yeah,
you're gonna blow my mind if it's true.
yeah, Lewis Latimer. He was the one who really came up with the filament that made the light bulb functional. That's Lewis Latimer.
I've never heard of this gentleman. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, it's saying it was primarily created by Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas A. Watson. Let,
Hmm.
let me see, but it doesn't say Lewis Latimer. Let me see Lewis Latimer. Uh, I'll just look up Lewis Latimer contributions to the telephone.
Yeah. Yep. Look that up. Yep. Yeah. He did the blueprints and the patent.
Well, it says he didn't invent it, but
Yeah,
his work.
they always do that. They're not going to give us full credit. Yeah, that's what they do. We do things. There's a lot of stuff that we invented and contributed to, but they don't give us full credit. Yeah, just like with rock and roll and music, they don't. In country, we 100% created country. They don't give us credit for that, and they know we created it.
Well, why would you have me look it up then if you know they're not going to give credit?
But some people do. If you
Okay,
look
fair enough.
at right sources, some people will tell the truth, and in some cases, they would tell the truth back in the day because they wanted authentic products, and they knew that Black people had the authentic products. Just like the whole term "the real McCoy," that means the real deal. You know where that term comes from?
I do not.
It comes from a Black man named Elijah McCoy. He had a mechanism for machinery that was so thorough, it was a lubricating mechanism that he invented that other people tried to simulate and make bootleg copies of. And people was like, no, we don't want this bootleg shit. We want the real McCoy, meaning we want the shit that the Black man made.
Look, here's what I'll say, and we can go down these inventions one by one if you want, but
Yeah.
I'll just say this. I feel like you can talk about Black culture and you can talk about how important it was in the foundation of this country, because it absolutely was, without revising history. Like, I know in one of your documentaries, you said black people created the piano. And that's just like not true. Like they did not. And like I feel like if you're going to be a scholar, you have to give accurate history. Is that fair?
Well, the thing is, there were versions of the piano in Africa. Like they had like a little finger piano. That's either true or is not true. Is that true? Look, you want to Google that?
Who built the piano?
Yeah, they had versions of the piano in Africa.
Okay, hold on.
And the piano is basically a harp turned sideways.
Okay, but it's not the same thing. It's like having some spin off of it is not the same as like the fully assembled thing. Can we
Yeah,
admit that that's the case?
it kind of is.
Like if you build something that approximates the piano, but it's not the piano, it's not technically a piano.
Yeah, yeah, kind of it is. It's the same. It's the same mechanism. A piano basically is a harp. That's all it is. If you look at a piano, you open up a piano, it's a harp inside of it. And they just laid it to the side and then you just hit it with keys instead of playing it with your fingers. Huh?
Okay, I mean, mm,
I mean,
it's not what we would associate with the piano. Is all I'm saying. Well, you know what a piano is when you see one, and I just think it's not. You can't have like some half assembled piano and call it a piano. That's all I'm saying.
but it would not be a piano without the harp. All right, so we just got to put it all in context. And our brother Kaba broke it down in the film, Hidden Colors. Um, in Africa, they had like a finger piano, like a little instrument that you play with your fingers like a piano. So there were versions of it. So it would not be what it is if it were not for Black people. So that's not reaching. The person who is credited, Christofori, with making the keyboard like piano, he would not have been able to do that if it were not for the inventions of the harp and other things by Black people. And the Moors brought that stuff in. They brought that into Europe.
Interesting. Okay, well, I'll have to look more into that because, to my understanding, the piano was created, uh, at least to my understanding, in Italy,
Right.
or by an Italian person. But I just want to say this because
Also, and again, with a lot of the stuff coming out of Italy at that time, this is stuff that was influenced by the Moors. So that's what that is.
in Italy.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, see, this is the thing. You can't just say. See, this is the problem. You can't just make things up as you go.
What did
You can't.
I make up?
Well, well, now you're saying that somehow the Moors are responsible for the inventions that came out of Italy. It's like, where is this? Like, this is
Yes, a lot of things that came out of Italy, because the Moors were in Italy too.
so now it's going to get to a thing where I have to like go down every invention that the Moors came up with, and it's like,
But the thing is, look, when you look at parts of Europe where they have all of this innovation and the Renaissance and all of that, why are they getting it where the wars are? Anywhere where the Moors are, all of a sudden these Europeans are getting enlightened.
is really
Yeah.
okay. Give me one example because yeah,
All of the inventions.
because this is something you hear a lot that they made the Enlightenment based on Islam or based on Muslims.
Yeah, the Renaissance was basically they were getting information from the Moors. They were getting a lot of knowledge from the Moors. The Moors were bringing in a whole bunch of knowledge, innovations, scholarship, and that's where the Europeans were getting it from. And after the Reconquista, after they kicked the Moors out, they kept the knowledge. Yeah, y'all get y'all black asses out.
That I know about. That I've heard of.
Right, y'all get the hell out of here. But we're gonna keep the scholarship you have, and they took the scholarship underground and start teaching it as a form of Masonic rites and all of that to keep it secret. That's why when they have these Masonic organizations, they wear shit like fezzes, like Moors, and stuff like that. Huh?
I see. Well, I mean, I'll have to look into that. But the fundamental thesis that I kind of wanted to outline here is that, look, at the end of the day, when you look at this country, and because that's what we were initially talking about, and I brought up all those inventions, it is true to say that white Americans are largely, if not uh, mostly responsible for the fruits that this country has bared. At least At least like
What are the fruits?
technologically speaking. Technologically speaking.
What are the fruits? What are the technology?
Well, like I said, the power grid, the personal computer, the automobiles, airplanes,
Okay.
software, things like that.
No, that what you're saying ain't even true.
It is. That's all true.
Not true.
Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs.
Dude, it was a black man named Mark Dean was the one who came up with the computer chip that everybody's using. Google that.
Okay, but no, because now you're going to say one individual black person contributed one individual thing.
But you can't.
That's not the same.
Can't talk about all the technological advances and then ignore the black people who brought some of those advances too. Come on now, you can't do that. You can't talk about the automobile and then ignore the Patterson Car Company. That was a car company that was in the early 1900s, a little bit before or right around the time as Henry Ford, and they were making higher quality cars than Henry Ford. The Wright brothers, they got the patent for their plane after a black man got his patent for his aircraft in the early 1900s. Henry Ford was working with our good brother George Washington Carver. That was his right-hand man giving him all of the game. So come on now, we've always had a footprint in this stuff. Everything you name, I can show you the black person who was right there. That's the true is not true.
Well, hold on. You said there was somebody who helped the Wright brothers that had a patent for an airplane before them.
Yeah, they didn't help the Wright brothers. There was a foundational black American man who got a patent for an aircraft before the Wright brothers.
Okay, for an aircraft. Now you're saying an aircraft.
Yeah, it wasn't the same as the plane as the Wright brothers. It wasn't the same thing, but it was a different type of aircraft that was somewhat similar. And he was going to take that aircraft to the St. Louis World's Fair. The World's Fair, somebody stole the shit from him because they didn't want him bringing it there. But he got his patented before the Wright brothers. So we are very innovative. We were doing a lot of phenomenal things. So you can't sit up and say that, yeah, there's just the white people who created all the fruits of everything. No, a lot of stuff was from foundational black Americans.
Well, it says neither of them had a patent for a heavier than air flying machine before the Wright brothers. So apparently there's like some caveat to what you're saying.
I don't know what you're reading, but yeah, I'm just telling you, there was a black man who had a patent for an aircraft that he created. And he got his patent before the Wright brothers, and they sabotaged him. Some people sabotaged him, which happened a lot. That's another thing. We create stuff and we try to innovate. We get our stuff stolen and we get sabotaged, but we still keep it on. You talk about Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison repeatedly tried to steal inventions from a foundational black American man named Granville T. Woods. In fact, he kept having to go to court with this brother trying to steal his stuff. Look that up. Granville T. Woods. I can bring the scholarship and I can give you names to verify everything that I'm saying, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read like a book that has like a collection of all the Black American inventors because I'm not familiar with this. I'll be honest with you. You're probably a lot more experienced and well read on this stuff than I am. So, that's that. But I do want to ask you. Sorry, go ahead.
If you don't know, don't dismiss things that are brought to the table by black people. If you don't know, so you keep saying you don't know, I don't know, I don't know. But the thing is, whenever I say a black person did this, oh God, that's not true. Oh, you're so quick to definitively dismiss it without having the scholarship. Nikki the God, hop on, Nikki.
Good morning, good early morning, and happy birthday, Tariq. You are so brilliant. You said everything that I was just about to say. I came up here to ask this guy how he feels about, since he accused you of revising history, how he feels about slave owners revising history to steal inventions from slaves, like the steam propeller, and then you have the cotton gin. We feel like those were stolen from slaves, but I came up here to ask him how he feels about slave owners revising history by stealing from slaves. Also, I wanted to remind everybody to donate to the Hidden History Museum and celebrate for the full month of July for Tariq's birthday by donating to the Hidden History Museum. That's all. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Wait, so she's asking me how I feel about slave owners taking inventions from slaves?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, that's obviously inexcusable. I mean, there's no way of defending that, obviously. But I mean, that's kind of par for the course in America. It's kind of to be expected. So I'm not surprised by it.
Right.
But yeah, it's indefensible.
Right. And
Um,
by the way, the name of the brother who created that aircraft, his name is Charles Frederick Page. Charles Frederick.
Charles
Yeah. Charles Frederick.
Charles Frederick Page.
He got the patent for his aircraft 1906, something like that, before the Wright brothers.
Yeah, I'll have to look into all this.
Yes,
Obviously.
yes. But
Well,
this is the look. We as foundational Black Americans, we are the foundation of this country. You seem to have an issue with that. Why do you have an issue with that statement in particular?
I just think like the statement itself is it. Look, I guess like fundamentally my issue with you or campaign in general is
Campaign?
um
What am I campaigning?
well would you would your movement, the FBA movement, the FBA.
What's the movement? Where's it going to move to?
What is what is hashtag FBA? What is that? It's just like an identity
That's a lineage.
or a lineage, okay? But you've created you've amassed a movement, right? Like there's Pan-Africanism, there's Garveyism, there's Black nationalism, right? There's differences. There's
No,
different.
well, now was Pan-Africanism is an idea. You
It's an
understand?
ideology. It's a political ideology.
Right. Being a foundational Black American, that's a lineage. That's not
But yeah, on code. Yeah, that's a part of the movement. Being on code, right? So
no. Just your lineage is your lineage. Not a movement. It's just your lineage. That's definitive. That's locked in. That
Tariq, when people talk about the FBA on Twitter, they're not talking about Black Americans they're talking about the FBI identity. They're talking about what the movement represents.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. I don't know what you talk. I'm lost now. What's that?
When people go on Twitter and they talk about how FBA is divisive, they're not talking about Black Americans being divisive. They're talking about the FBA movement itself.
What FBA movement? There is no movement. There's a lineage.
What are they referring to then when they say that?
Lineage. They're talking about the 43 million people who are of the foundational Black American lineage. That's all it is. There's nothing else for FBA.
Okay, well they're in that context. They're referring to it as a movement, as a collective identity, that's what they're referring to it as when they critique it.
No, they're not, because there is nothing else that represents foundational Black Americans except 43 million plus Black people who are non-immigrants. So they can't talk. They literally can't be talking about anything else. Now they can pretend. They can do like what the white supremacists do. They'll sit up here and talk about, well, I hate Black Lives Matter as a code for Black people. And they'll pretend that they're talking about some damn organization that don't exist when they're really talking about Black people. Same thing. When somebody says something about foundational Black Americans, they're not talking about some movement. They're talking about 43 million people. They can sit here and pretend they're talking about some make-believe group that they done created in their minds. But that's the proxy. That's for them. They just don't want to seem like the xenophobes that they are, that they have an issue with foundational Black Americans as a lineage, which a lot of people do. So anytime somebody's critical of foundational Black Americans, they're critical of 43 million people.
Okay, Tariq, there was a guy who posted a video on you on YouTube the other day. It's like an hour and a half long. I think the guy's
don't care.
Well,
don't.
Okay, fine. I won't mention it. But
and I didn't watch it, and I heard, but and what I'm hearing is like some FBI type propaganda. Which is
I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know.
Likely it is. And I'm used
to everything is not the FBI. Everything's not the FBI either.
Somebody hate neither. All right. If somebody's producing documentaries about you, trying to discredit you, that's COINTELPRO 101.
Why would anybody, you play perfectly into the hands of this country's identity. Why would the FBI have an issue with you? You're not a radical. You're not a radical. You're not like a threat to the system.
But the thing is, I kind of am.
You're a rich guy who lives
Sir,
a luxurious life.
sir, if they're producing documentaries about me trying to discredit me, I'm a threat somewhere.
To,
I'm a threat somewhere. If
it's a random guy
not,
on YouTube.
oh, it's not. No, it's not a random guy. It's not no random. Oh, ain't no random haters don't sit up and produce damn documentaries on people. It takes time and money to do that. And there's dozens of people who do little documentaries and shit about me on YouTube all the time.
It's a commentary channel.
Oh, no. There's also political operatives who attack me all the time. I'm not, if I wasn't a threat, they wouldn't have me on their brains so much. You have whole sock puppet accounts designed to try to discredit me. You have all these political operatives. They have meetings about me at these think tanks all the time. I'm banned from the UK. They won't even let me over there. You don't ban people who's not a threat somehow. Yeah.
That probably has to do with something else. That's not, there's no way that's just for what you say on the internet. There's no way.
There is, what else is there? There is nothing.
I don't know. I don't know your personal history, but I'm just saying I'm just very skeptical of that being the primary reason.
Yeah, that's what else? What other reason would it be?
I just said I don't know your personal history. Maybe you have a record. I don't know.
I don't. I do not.
So they just won't let you to the UK because they don't like what you say on the internet.
And not just the internet, because I was going over there doing lectures. When I went to the UK, I did sold out lectures over there all the time. So it's the influence. That's the thing. I'm a very influential person.
Yes, I agree. That's true.
You see,
That's
look,
true.
you see the numbers now, right now? Can you look at the numbers in this room now?
Yeah, 1.7K. That's a lot.
That's a lot. And what's the middle of the night? You understand? I do these numbers every day. Most people, I'm pretty much the only person who do these numbers every day.
Well, look, here's what I'll say. I say you're a Black American, you're a hardcore nationalist, you're a nativist, you're anti-immigration. So
I don't know what,
like that plays perfectly into this country's cultural traditions.
Right.
You're not like a militant radical Marxist. You're like a Black nationalist.
I don't even know what that is. So I'm not that. I'm just a foundational Black American. I come from a lineage of the people who built this country from scratch. That's it.
Look, maybe me labeling you as unfair, but that's the best way I would describe it.
Yeah, those are kind of COINTELPRO terms.
That's not okay. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, those are COINTELPRO terms. Those are the words that they use for people that they want to control. They got to kind of put them in a box and call them a nationalist. Not a nationalist. I'm a foundational Black American.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being a nationalist. I'm a nationalist, but okay, I don't use it as like a slur.
No, I'm not a Black national. I got respect for my lineage in this country. So I'm patriotic to the lineage. What's wrong with
Okay, you're a nationalist then. You're some kind of nationalist.
I'm a patriot for foundational Black Americans. What's wrong with that?
Well, nothing, but I'm saying there's just no reason, there's no reason why some guy like who's an FBI cutout would make a YouTube video about you. Like that doesn't strike me.
Why wouldn't they?
What's his motive? What's his incentive? There's no incentive. There's no motive.
What you mean there's no motive? Yeah, the COINTELPRO program was to
everybody's not a Fed, man.
Yeah. But everybody ain't a hater either. All right.
Right. Some people just disagree with you. Like that's literally some people could just disagree with you.
There's the difference between disagreeing and just putting out a bunch of lies and propaganda. All right. There's a real big difference between disagreeing and just straight up propaganda meant to try to discredit. All right. And that's COINTELPRO 101. And COINTELPRO is alive and well. Listen, let's be very real. And I'm not being egotistical. Talking to somebody about this before. Somebody told me, and I really didn't think about it till a colleague of mine told me. They were like, Tariq, you are probably the most influential Black person in the United States.
You're up there.
Think about it. And I thought about it. I'm like, damn.
You and Umar are the only two, I guess. There's nobody else.
And in respect to Umar, but Umar is not that influential. No disrespect to Umar. Umar is people kind I look at him as more isn't. But as far as creating just a certain vibe and things like that, and and I think Umar is brilliant, even though me and him we got our beefs and all of that stuff. As far as moving the political needle, no, for real, somebody with real influence, for real, who threaten the political establishment. Nobody else has that kind of influence but me. And I say that humbly, and that's kind of, I kind of have to own up to it because for a long time I just kind of try to be the regular guy and all of that. But, you know, I get attacked by the feds all the damn time. They send their sock puppets at me all the time to try to discredit me all the time. We do events. They've had feds and operatives.
I gotta understand the logic behind this. Like, how do you? Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So why wouldn't they attack me?
Well, I mean, you're not like you're. I don't even know how popular of a figure you are, like in terms of like outside of the online space. Like they're not showing your face on Fox News. They're not showing your face on CNN or
Oh,
MSNBC. You're like an online
yeah,
figure.
that's not true.
Yeah.
That I've been on Fox a gazillion times. They've done stories on me a lot of times. They've done on me. Yeah. So yeah, you're late to the party, buddy. You're very late to the party. They have discussed me on Fox all the time. I've been on there. I've been on CNN. I've been on. This ain't the internet. I've had rallies where thousands of people showed up. This ain't the internet. You know the movie Sinners. Ryan, what's the biggest movie in the world?
Yeah, the new one that came out.
Ryan Coogler. He was doing interviews, letting people know he's a foundational Black American. Yeah.
Interesting. I've never. Yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe.
Oh,
I mean, look. That's my perception of it. Like you're not like a national figure, to my understanding.
yeah, I am. You think I'm not? You think
Maybe you have more outreach than I thought, but based on your YouTube numbers and based on your Twitter numbers, it doesn't seem that way. It's a couple 100,000.
that's a lot?
That's not millions, though.
Yeah, but yeah, if you got people who are the only people who are Black who get millions of views are people who do like goofy shit, like the goofy little streamers. That's the nothing burger. That's not influence. That's just white people want to tune in to see somebody Black do something stupid. That doesn't mean nothing. These guys don't really have influence. I'm talking about real influence.
And also, like, you might just be known as the FBA guy. You might not be like, you're not known as like Tariq Nasheed, you know what I mean? Like the figure. That's
So
the thought leader.
no, I've been around for a long time. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, I've been around for a long time.
Okay.
I've been in the public figure since before you were born, man. My best-selling, I had a best-selling book 25 years ago. An
How to
international
pimp.
no, The Art of Macking.
The art of macking.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't a pimp book, it was a Macking book, teaching you how to Mac. That was a huge seller. That book sold all over the world. I've been in the game for a minute, dude. So I raised cats like you. You understand?
Yeah, I understand. I hear you.
Right. But yeah, you ain't been in them circles. You haven't been in them circles. And, truth be told, I think you sound like a white dude.
I'm not.
Honest.
I know because I grew up in a white neighborhood. That's why. I get that.
But some of the shit for you to not know some of this stuff, you have the aesthetics of a white man.
Yeah, that's fair. Probably.
And not just living in a white neighborhood, living in a white household. I don't give a fuck what neighborhood you live in. Yeah, you live in a white household and not an El Salvadorian. You understand?
Well,
this is why.
I mean, Black and Hispanic.
Yeah, that Black side is a little questionable too.
Right. That's what I mean. I don't know how else I could prove it, but it's the truth.
Yes, because that would mean you got a Black mother.
Yes, I do. That's exactly right.
And your mother could not be a foundational Black American.
She is. She's 100%.
Your mama's a foundational Black American.
Yes, 1000%. Yes.
From the South?
Yes, from Texas. Yes.
From Texas. So when
Yes.
you went out to play, when you would go outside and play, when you were a kid, and you came in the house, your mother said you smell like what?
Outside.
Oh, there you go. All right, you know that. All right. Now you just might have a Black mama. Let me get Dan in. Dan, how are you?
He's like telling me I don't have a Black mom.
What's going on, Tariq? How you doing, man? Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, Dan. How are you, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. Just got through, shout out to the homie Rootwork Jones. Just got through solving the case.
Yes.
Caught another fed slipping. This young guy, man, he's 22. Okay, that explains a whole lot. But I just got a question for you. I'm not sure what your name is, but do you think that there are certain there are political factions inside the FBI and the CIA and the NSA?
I mean, there obviously is. They literally have media stations in the Pentagon for Fox News. They're everywhere. It's a whole
Facts.
apparatus.
So watch this. So during the last election, there were a number of influential foundational Black Americans who told Black people not to support either side if they weren't offering tangibles. Now, the Democratic Party has this thing called benign neglect when they deal with Black people, or this nonsense notion of all inclusiveness, which is even more bullshit. Excuse my language. So when those voices started telling people not to do anything for tangibles, they immediately became a target because that has the ability to affect the election. So it's not necessarily the threat that you're posing now, it's the potential threat that you can actually pose. Take a look at what just happened with Trump and Iran. He literally targeted them not because they were at enrichment levels, but because they could possibly get there. So they like to kill threats before they even get started. So when people say in our community that they're being targeted, there's a huge precedent set by that. You take a look what they did with the Black Panther Party, and considering the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, said that he is not going to give rise to a new Black Messiah. Anybody who looks like they fit that mold, they target, even if that person's agenda isn't political. They had files on Tupac because his music was inspirational.
Mm-hmm.
So they do this all the time. And I don't expect you to understand this because I still don't believe you come from Black culture. But you have little small smear campaigns that they throw out, hoping something sticks. And they'll say it so much and hope you forget about it that it's just a nonsense rumor. And then they'll just kind of bring it back. It's a psychology thing. If people keep hearing the same lie, eventually becomes truth to the next generation. So they do sabotage us in so many ways.
Yeah.
I highly encourage you to go look at Hidden Colors 1 through 5. Hidden Color 6 is on the way. And get a homie Rootwork Jones a call, man. I can kind of spade through the screen. Appreciate that, Tariq, man. Enjoy your birthday, man. Have a nice day.
Yes, indeed. Let me get my sister Brooke in here real quick. Let me get my sister Brooke, the lovely Brooke in the building. Miss Brooke. Thank you, beloved. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. We have a tradition in my family where we sing badly to each other, but I will spare you, okay? So I just wanted to say, one, the gentleman said that, his mother goes back 8 generations. And I put up a post the other day where, and I double checked my ancestry.com just to make sure my lineage goes back on this land 5 generations. And by the time I got to the 5th generation, that was before America was America. So for him to say that he's been on this land for 8 generations and he does not know that there are natives on this land, how could he be on this land for 8 generations?
Well, because I am Native American. My great-grandmother was full Choctaw Native American. So that's why I say 8 generations.
But when we were sitting here talking about how our Native American ancestry, you were questioning it.
Well, I'm saying as far as African Americans who are or Black Americans who are the descendants of slaves are concerned, that's why.
And so, but you're saying that you're half FBA,
yes.
and you're saying that you have Native American blood
yes.
in you. So
yes.
how can you have that and then question everybody else's lineage? See, this is why I question. And again, you said 8 generations. 8
Probably.
generations is very, very far.
Yes.
And I doubt that you can go back that far. Second of all, the other thing,
I said probably 8 generations.
The other thing that I have to say is that the way you dismiss Tariq as he's explaining to you his experience as a foundational Black American in this country doing the work for our lineage is the exact reason why we delineate.
Well, he's taking a
Sitting
paycheck
here,
from y'all
he's
too. It's
sitting
not like he's
here
doing it for
telling
free. He's getting
people,
paid.
I'm
What
speaking to
paycheck am
her.
I getting? Paycheck am I getting?
Speaking.
Bro, all these GoFundMe's, all these, yeah, you're getting paid. We know about that. You're
What?
getting paid.
No. What GoFundMe for Foundation of Black America? What are you
You
talking about?
had a conference that you hosted. You had the whole thing in Haiti when you went to Haiti and you were, building the infrastructure over there. You
As a
got
person who
all
worked
these.
at the as a person who worked at one of his conferences, he put more money into that conference than he got out of the
I,
whatchamacallit, the GoFundMe. So
I,
when you
So
sit here
Tariq,
and
you're
you
doing
say
all
things,
this for free. That's
you
bullshit.
don't
That's bullshit.
even know what you're saying. We had no sponsors. He was the sponsor.
right. What money did I get for the conference? It was free. And what money did I get for the conference, sir?
Look, all I'm saying is you're not doing this for free. There's a monetary incentive.
You
No,
have a
No, I'm just
of
okay. Look,
saying things,
I'm just
and then when
saying.
he's disproven, you have a tendency of saying things, and when you're disproven, then all of a sudden you want to change the subject. It's very white supremacist of you. I'm suspecting, like I said, it's so many things that you're
Jesus
saying and your
Christ.
behavior. I really question your foundational Black Americanness. I
That's
don't care if
fine.
you know what outside smells like or not.
Fine.
I still don't think that you're a
That's
foundational Black
fine.
American. I think
right,
you're a big
That's
fat
fine.
liar.
Yeah, sure. Fine.
yeah,
Okay.
right there. Yeah, well, yeah. Thank you, Brooke. But
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
yeah. What money did I get from the conference?
Well, I'm saying you're not doing this for free. There's a monetary incentive. It's not like you're doing this out of your own volition.
I pretty much am. I'm not getting no big paycheck from nobody. What are you talking about? Who am I getting a paycheck from?
I don't
And
know I don't know if you're being funny.
now, see, now that's you doing Fed talk. And then you said something about Haiti. What money did I get from Haiti? What does that have to do with foundational Black Americans? Because you just
Okay.
okay, now yeah, break that down because you see what I'm saying. This is Fed talk. When you just say shit and then run from it, you just try to plant the seed of some bullshit and then run. What did I do with Haiti that I
Oh,
got some money from?
well, you went out there, you raised money, and it was with the
What for,
intention of, well, it was on the GoFundMe. It was a public fund.
for water supplies?
No, in the description it said to build homes. It said
No,
that
it
in
wasn't.
the
No, it wasn't.
yes, it did.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't just to pass out water.
No, it wasn't. I didn't build
Okay,
raise money to.
right.
That's a lie.
Okay, so you're okay. So
Just and now you lying. Now you sound weird. I didn't raise no money for no houses in Haiti.
so
Where
you're
did
doing.
where did you get that from? Because you got that lie from somebody.
I got that from a video that I
That's
watched about you.
yeah, you got it from that. What? And I haven't watched that
Yeah,
video.
that one video. Yeah, it was in
Oh
that
yeah,
video. It was.
you're regurgitating lies from a Fed
It
video.
was a screenshot.
No, it wasn't.
See, this is the thing, and now I'm a Fed.
But
You,
I know the
it's like Jesus.
slow down. This is what I'm saying. These FBI ass videos say shit, and then weird folks come in and regurgitate some bullshit from these Fed videos. And then when you ask them to bring the proof, then you start trying to change the subject. I never raised money for no houses in Haiti. That's a bald-faced lie.
You want me to pull up the screenshot?
Pull it up or pull up the link.
Okay. Well, I don't have a link to it.
I've never raised money for houses in Haiti.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
That's Fed. This is Fed 101, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm questioning you for even regurgitating some Fed shit. That's Fed talk right there. Because Bucci used to say the same shit. We know what that nigga
Okay.
is. Bucci the Fed used to say the exact same thing. When I see people regurgitating Fed talking points, now I'm looking at them funny style. I never
I mean, dude,
raised money.
like everything can't be a Fed. Like everyone can't be a.
Everybody ain't lying for no reason, though. Everybody ain't lying for no reason. You ain't lying just to be lying. Yeah, you lying for a reason. And that's a very specific lie. I never raised money for no houses in Haiti. We had a little GoFundMe for some water supplies when I was going out there filming. I wanted to bring some water supplies, and I did. It was like for $10,000-$15,000 or whatever. But I never raised money for no houses in Haiti. I never did that. And that,
Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
and it
guys.
had nothing to do with foundational Black Americans. So you just saying, why are you just saying shit like that? That have no correlation. What correlation does that have? One lie have with foundational Black Americans?
Okay, we're kind of getting all over the place. I thought we were talking about
You're
Haiti.
the one getting all over the place. You're the one just telling random lies, and then you can't.
Right.
Don't say we're getting all over the place. You said that bullshit. You said that, and now you can't back it up. And now you sitting here trying.
Well, I'm about to. Do you want me to pull up the articles?
Yeah. Pull up a link of me raising any money for a house in Haiti.
Okay, so it says, this is from County Local News. It's saying,
who?
Well, it says County Local News.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. I've never heard of County Local News.
What does that say? What does it say? What do I got to do with that? I got to hear this.
It's pretty interesting. It says political naivete and charlatan deception. Beware of charlatans like Tariq Nasheed. Political influence exposed. Hold on, let me pull this up.
Okay, that sounds like more Fed shit. What? That's not no real. What the hell is that?
Well, hold on. Let me scroll through this. Give me a second.
Yeah, you can't even get your bullshit straight. The fact that you got to do all this to disprove your own lie.
Well, I saw it in the video. Yeah. There was a screenshot of it. If you see it, then, but I can't. It's hard to pull the thing up.
Fed shit. That video is Fed shit. So why quoting Fed shit and you can't even back it up?
See, here's the thing, right? When you
better back it up, you say something. You can't sit up and say, "Well, I got it from a video." We've already said the video is on some Fed shit, and now you can't prove anything. You're just saying stuff, sir. So why are you doing that? I'm questioning your motives. I know the motives of whoever made the video. What's your motives for regurgitating Fed shit?
I'll be honest with you. The reason, Fed shit is crazy, but the reason why I'm critical of you, and like I said, when I came in here, I was giving you props.
No. That's why I wasn't going for it, because all that passive aggressive shit, I could see the hostility already in there.
There's no hostility. I just disagree with something.
Disagreeing and lying are two different things. You said I'm getting all this money, and then when I said, okay, what money? You start lying. You said I got this money from a rally for reparations. I didn't make no money off that. I didn't get no money for no houses in Haiti either. And you've been sitting here babbling and filibustering for the last 10 minutes because you got caught lying. So now we want to know why you lying now.
Well, the primary thing is you're not doing this for free. That's really the main thesis of this. You're getting paid to do
this. I'm not, and you haven't proved it.
So you're
Who am I getting paid by?
The people who are donating money to you, the people who are buying your shit, the people who are going to your museum and all that kind of stuff.
Buying my shit for 25 years. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. You're a businessman. That's what you are first. You're a businessman.
What are you talking about? I don't give props to my lineage because I'm getting paid. I've been getting paid because I'm a businessman.
Yeah, exactly. You're a businessman.
But you're trying to flip that into saying that I'm on.
It's the truth. You are. Lineage. Profit from this.
No.
So what was your job before this? Because you obviously don't have a job. This is your job. You get paid to do this.
What is this?
You get paid to sell products, make YouTube videos, do interviews, whatever. You're like a public figure. You get paid to talk about shit like this.
And what's wrong with getting paid for?
Nothing. But I'm saying, like, this notion that you're doing it because, like, you care about FBA and all that kind of stuff. I feel like that's not the entire picture. It's like there's a profit motive here.
I've already made profit. So what are you talking about?
I just explained it.
That don't make sense. What you're saying don't make sense.
It doesn't make sense that I think you are doing this largely for the profit incentive.
What am I doing? You keep saying I'm doing this.
You're talking about FBA. You're having these conferences. You're doing these interviews because you're getting notoriety and you're getting money from it.
No, not really.
Okay, so you just happen to live in a mansion because that just fell in your lap.
Yeah, I've lived in this house for over 10 years. What does that have to do with our foundational Black American lineage?
So okay, hold on,
Come on, make it make sense.
dude. How else would you be making money?
I have different businesses. That's how.
Right.
I've
Okay.
always had different businesses.
Okay. Fair enough.
So what
I mean,
what am I supposed to do? I have successful
so
businesses. I've always had successful businesses. I've been doing successful business for the last 25 years. I've had best-selling books, multiple best-selling books. I would do best-selling tours, lectures, best-selling movies. So what is this? You're doing this. What? Being successful at business? What's wrong with that, sir?
no, nothing, nothing. I mean, but are the businesses that you made money off of, does that relate to FBA? Does that relate to
No.
selling FBA, you know, documentaries and things like that?
What FBA documentary do I have?
You have Hidden Colors 1 through 5 or 1 through 4 or
Those are
something like
not FBA documentaries. Those documentaries don't primarily focus on foundational Black Americans.
that. That was the target demographic, though.
No, there was global Blackness. Those documentaries talked about Black people globally.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm saying. You don't know what you're talking about. And one of my documentaries that was successful was about Haiti. It wasn't about foundational Black Americans at all. So what do you?
I find it hard to believe that you're just some guy who goes around and does interviews and has hosts all these talks every night on
Listen,
Twitter for several hours.
you're just saying stuff, sir. You keep putting your foot in your mouth. I'm like, what? You sound like a fed, man. Damn,
Okay.
you freaking fed. Dude, Hidden Color was about global Blackness. It wasn't about foundational Black Americans. It was a huge seller. It was successful. 1 through 5, all of them successful. It was about global Black history. 1804, that was about Haiti. It wasn't about foundational Black American culture at all. It was successful. A lot of shit I do is just successful. When I touch something, I can kind of put a little success on it. I kind of have a little spiritual energy that's good like that.
Yeah, you're an entertainer for sure.
I did a hip hop documentary. That was successful. Huh?
Yeah, no, that's true. You do have that ability,
Tell
obviously.
you something. If I didn't focus on my lineage, I would be even more successful. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you could be like a charismatic
Let me tell you.
mouthpiece
Let me
for someone or
let
something. Yeah,
let me tell you something.
sure.
Before I did Hidden Colors, I had the networks trying to give me a television show. All right. I had several networks trying to give me a television show, and some of the pilots are still floating around 2009, 2010. Because I would do mainstream television. I was on VH1, MTV. MTV gave me a special. I was doing the Tonight Show, Conan. I'm doing mainstream television. These people are trying to give me my own show, like a talk show, because I have what's called a high Q rating. And in the entertainment industry, they can test people and see your Q rating. That means how much audiences like you and want to tune in. I have one of those personalities that people like and they want to tune in and watch. Sponsors like that.
What channel?
Oh, it was different networks. I'm telling you.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
But I've been on different networks. And NBC are working with them. They wanted to give me a show. Many others. That's why I was on Conan. I was on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. All that shit. You can look it up. All this stuff, you can look it up.
Yeah.
Several shows with MTV. MTV is throwing money at me. These networks wanted me to do like dating and relationship shows because that was my thing. That was my books. I had a lot of dating and relationship books, so they were huge sellers. So they wanted to give me shows. At the time, instead of doing that, I thought it was more important for my community, the Black community, to get some information about their history because I didn't like what Hollywood was putting out about Black people. Now, I could have been quiet and got all that Hollywood money. I could have been rolling in Hollywood dough. But I said, I would rather do something that's going to benefit my community and elevate the community at the same time and do it independently. That's what made me do the Hidden Colors series. That was a labor of love. It just happened to be extremely successful. But I did it love. Now, you couldn't say I was doing it for money because I could have got more money anyway. And nobody had ever done anything like Hidden Colors at all. Nothing was done like that. So there was no template to even measure how much money it would make. But I put my passion in it because it was a labor of love and respect that I have for my culture. You understand?
I gotcha. I get you. I hear where you're coming from.
So that shit, doing some shit for money, if that were the case, I'd just do the Hollywood thing. You understand? And I'm a hustler. I can get money. I don't have to do goofy shit just for $1. If I do something, I'm going to do it because the spirit is telling me to do it. If I'm successful in the process, well, that's the spirit looking out for me. But I always do things that's going to be integrity based first. You understand that?
Okay.
All right.
I apologize.
All right. There you go. And stop listening to Fed videos. All right. All right.
I got you.
Thank you so much. Let me get you out.
You got it.
All right. Let me get Brother McCall in here. Oh, Brother McCall got down. My bad. Okay. Yeah, yeah. See, you got to watch cats like that. But that, I don't even think this dude is FBA. I don't think he's half FBA. I don't even think that. I don't think he's half the FBA. Yeah, he's in here using a lot of Fed talk, all of that. You did this for some money. You getting paid. Dude, if I wanted to get paid, I would have just did a late night show with NBC or some shit. If that were the case. No. Sometimes you got to do the right thing. Sometimes you just got to do things that's going to be impactful historically. And that's what I did. And that's what I do. You understand? Come on now. I'm not you, dude. Some of these guys, some of these semi-tethers, they got this cutthroat get over mentality where you got to get over for $1. No, I ain't got to do that. See, a lot of these folks who come from these non-FBA backgrounds, they got that scamming, scheming mindset where they got to do all types of weird shit for $1. We ain't, that's the great thing about being deeply rooted and grounded in your culture. We ain't got to do all that shit. Sometimes we just want to look out for our folks. Sometimes we just have a love for our people. Dude, we didn't make no money at the rally for reparations. That shit was free and it cost a lot of money to put it on. And flying everybody out, renting out all that equipment and all that shit. We didn't get no money and we didn't get no sponsors and it was free. What money? I just thought it was important for us to get the messaging out there, which it was important. Yeah. Yeah, we raised a little money so I just don't lose money because the first one, I paid for all that shit myself. The second one, I said, okay, we're going to have to get a little donation thing. Yeah. Let me get our Brother McCall in here. Brother McCall, hop on in. Brother McCall in the building. Oh, brother, having a little, are you here, McCall? So good, brother. How are you, sir?
Happy birthday to you.
I appreciate that. Yes, sir.
And it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day to be our great brother Tariq Nasheed.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Well, that conversation was a little interesting. I mean, the duplicity and the deception and the subterfuge and the inconsistencies which are typical amongst those types. You know, something you said is one of my favorite quotes, and it should definitely be, you know, plaqued, you know, as a Tariq Nasheed quote. Hating is a broke man's sport.
Mm.
You know, and I think we forget that white people like him are haters.
Mm-hmm.
We don't realize how much hating they do.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You know, so that quote, brother, I mean, I think about that quote and what you said every day to, to kind of center myself when, I'm dealing with those types of, anti-light folks. So hating is a broke man's sport, and he sound broke. Happy birthday to you, brother.
Thank
Love you.
so much, man. Much respect. Yes, indeed. Man. Thanks everybody for the birthday love. Much respect. Let me see. Let's get gorgeous. Let's get gorgeous in here. Let's get gorgeous. Gorgeous, hop on in. And speaking of donations, everybody can donate to the Hidden History Museum. That'll be a great donation. Gorgeous, what's up, gorgeous?
Hello. How are you? I'm good,
Wait.
thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I haven't been listening to you for long, but you remind me so much of Kevin Samuels. May he rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way you speak, and also, from your image. I don't even know if that's really you, but you just remind me of him so much, and I just enjoy listening to you. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Kevin Samuel, my brother. That was my brother, man. Solid dude. R.I.P. to him. Let me see who else we got in here. Let me see. Who's this? Arian G. Okay, is this one of these? Okay, let's go. Arian God's Revenge. What's up, Arian G? It's the brother. Arian G, what's up, brother? Arian